Yo, what is good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? Jaybari here, and I'm back with another episode of the Jaybari Show, episode number 27 to be exact. And yeah, we are here on this wonderful Saturday morning. It's been a long time since our brother went live on a Saturday morning. What do you think this is, Barry? Whoops. Oh, let me turn my light on. Let me get some brightness up in here. Man, you never get used to that. You never get used to that, man. Well, hopefully y'all having a wonderful morning. Wonderful Saturday morning or afternoon or nighttime, wherever you at. At the end of the day, hopefully it's a very wonderful, enjoyable Saturday. I love Saturdays. I love waking up early on Saturdays. That's a daily routine or a weekly routine for me. From growing up as a little kid, every Saturday morning to even now. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna be bright and up. I'm gonna be up bright and early, doing what I gotta do, and enjoying the weekend. My 2 days of rest. You know what I mean? But yo, we got a lot to talk about today. On this episode of the Jaybari Show. Major delay. That's happening. Not only on just, Crimson Desert, but it seems like Black Ops 7 for the Switch 2 is delayed as well. We're going to talk about both of those things. We're going to talk about some Ghost of Yotei gameplay, where they have the Kurisarigama and Yari gameplay, where they're showing off with Sunny Legend. So we're going to be going over that, seeing what they got over there. Cause Sunny Legend, that's a beast right there. Beast gameplay guy. And yeah, Ghost of Yotei is looking better and better and better. You know what I mean? And yeah, we gonna talk about the console wars, man. A lot of people saying the console war is over, but that is the bulk of the people's conversation. I put out a tweet the other day that went over a lot of people's heads. They thinking that I'm not, for or I'm not console war. Like, I always said, I enjoy the console wars. I don't do what you motherfuckers do out here, trying to bash people. If somebody come personal to me, then hey, that's the door they opened. But I can talk about a platform, a game, without going personal with somebody. Just sharing my likes or my dislikes for a platform or for a game, or the gaming conversation is giving my opinion. Majority of the shit, like, I do see with console wars, like, people do be console warring, but some of the stuff is like people just giving their opinions. You know what I mean? And as soon as somebody disagree, you're console warring. If you have a difference of opinion, you're console warring. Hey, I don't like this here. Oh, that's console warring. Hey, I like this here. Hey, that's console warring. Hey, what the who is interrupting my intro? Yo, Bird, man. Appreciate you. Welcome. Yes, guys. Yes, ladies. Soldier First Class is back. Revamped. Brand new. I will go over like a video of that. Talking about it. I wasn't ready to say that yet, but shout out to my man Bird. I appreciate you becoming a member. But yeah, we gonna revamp it, and we're gonna talk about it in a video, like a channel update video. Still some of the same perks gonna come over, like we're gonna do the giveaways and stuff like that, because I do appreciate people's support. I will show my appreciation by doing giveaways and what. But I appreciate it, Bird, man. Welcome. We got some new I forgot the name of it. Is it Icon? for the Soldier First class. We're doing the materia system, you know, so each month, you know, you get a different materia, you know, class or color. And then the final one, you know, get a nice little picture. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. But yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. And yo, just this week alone, yo, I'm scrolling on Twitter and I'm seeing Shawn Layden getting people upset again. You know, for every time Shawn Layden says something, you know, that you know, he has an opinion about an industry that he worked for multitude of years. You know, people have, you know, they get butthurt about his opinion. You know, where interviewers asking him a certain question and he's just answering the question. You know? Yo, shout out to everybody though that be like, you know, linking the interviews and whatnot. You know what I mean? I wish people did that during the WUPS interviews. So we had Shawn like on our podcast like what, 4 times or 3 times? No, we had him on episode 55. We had him on episode 100. Oh yeah, we had him on 4 times. 4 times. And a lot of the stuff that, you know, people are quoting like in this interview, this is not new concepts or new things that he's saying here. This is stuff that he said on our show. You know, he said this multitude of times. But people pretending like it's something new, you know? And it goes in line, you know, you don't have to agree with what he's saying, but it goes in line with a lot of people sentiments, especially more on the PlayStation side. Yeah, we understand Game Pass. Game Pass is a great value for the consumer, 100%. But I feel like there's a detriment, or there could be a detriment when it comes to the development side or the business side. You know, it doesn't really make sense business wise. Yeah, as a consumer, yeah, most likely you wouldn't even care. But as a lot of people in this day and age, they were like, oh, who cares about the business? But every conversation that a lot of people have these they talk about, they're talking about the business aspects. No different than you know, the multi-platform stuff for PlayStation. You know, their reasoning to be, you know, with it or tell people like, yeah, you should be with it is more on the business side of things. You know, it's like, oh, PlayStation gets money. They want money. You know, that's a business thing. You know, but at the end of the day, some of the sentiments that he's sharing with Game Pass, like, you know, as far as like what can it do for the industry? Yeah, I've been agreeing with that even before I spoke to Shawn Layden. You know what I mean? Yo, C Fresh, what's good, man? Good morning. Layden Gaming, what's up? What's up, Ice Queen? Good morning. Yo, Craig, what up, man? Good morning. Good morning, y'all. You know, yo, Tevin, what up? Good morning. Yo, Killer Can for sure. Good morning. Mustang Gaming, what's up, man? Appreciate y'all coming through. We're gonna be here for a little bit. Talk about a few things, man. But matter of fact, let me pull up this Shawn Layden article for a second. You know, just so we can get the context of what he's talking about, or what I understood he was talking about. Because I see people bringing up like I made this tweet the other day. Where is it? I made this tweet the other day, yo. Where this shit at? Oh yeah, right here. I made this tweet right here, bro. And people getting upset, man. Yo, X want me to promote my tweet. I ain't promoting shit, man. Get the fuck out of here. How can I click off of this? Oh, there you go. I said Shawn Layden got them boys upset because I'm just scrolling on here, just randomly scrolling, and I'm seeing like a whole bunch of people like that's super upset. Look at my man 108 upset about whatever he said. I'm seeing people bring up shit about cars, like supercars. I'm like, that's not what I read. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm thinking people talking about this IGN video right here, or this article right here, where he's speaking to GameIndustry.biz, and he criticized the impact of Xbox Game Pass, the Netflix of gaming, suggesting it leads to a new normal where paying for the individual game has become less common. this is even Phil Spencer. Didn't Phil Spencer even say that Xbox Game Pass cannibalized sales, or Microsoft said that? You know what I mean? We're seeing this for like how many years now? You know, we have seen this for like when Game Pass came out, 2018. We're seeing this for like all these years now, 8 years, 9 years almost, right? And we're seeing on the Xbox platform, console side of things, people are buying less and less video games. Obviously, yeah, they're gonna, they're subscribing to Game Pass, but you're conditioning your fan base that, yo, even when a big blockbuster game like a Gears or whatever come out, they're not gonna buy it. Is it a consumer fault? No, it's not it's the consumer fault. But to say that, oh yeah, this service that you have on your platform, it leads to people not buying video games, I don't think that's a odd, assessment. Yo, Viper Eat, man, appreciate it, bro.
One thing that cracks me up, 1 minute, PS owners be like, I'm getting games. I don't care about the business side. Next thing you know, they gonna say, what happened to PS? After the games get worse, do less money incoming.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, I've pointed this out many times, Viper, where people always claim that, oh, why would we care about the business side? But then they always bring up the business side, of things. Like, yeah, you care about the business side because now as an adult, you invest more into gaming. It's not where, as a little kid, where, your mommy and daddy is out here buying your games and your consoles, and you don't give a damn. You don't give a damn in the world. You ain't buy the shit. It ain't coming from your money. Now that we are, as adult, invest more in video games, buy more in video games, our money's buying these consoles, I would think people will have more of an investment to be like, what's going on with a platform they prefer to play on. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's cool. Like, yeah, we can just think about the game, but that's not how conversations evolve. Yeah, as a little kid, yeah, we just care. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I just want to play a game. Sure. As an adult, I don't think that's how the conversation goes on now. But I agree with you 100%, Viper, man. Appreciate the 1999 iPhone user in the building. And I know when it comes to iPhone, iPhone, I don't know if it's me or it's just, maybe this is a general iPhone issue. Sometimes it's really hard to write a super chat. Like it be having these predictive text sometimes, and just messes up. And if you don't correct it, your super chat just comes out all discombobulated on there. Yo, Tehran Sai, what up, man? Appreciate you coming through. Yo, Jenna Hayes, good morning. Good morning. What's up? Yeah, the best way to support what you love is to buy the product. Shawn Layden. Yeah. Yeah, that's where the whole support the devs came from when I said it. People, I said that long time ago when I was debating Xbox Uni, Xbox University. You know what I mean? When it was bringing up the whole Game Pass stuff. And then you remember when Days Gone, they had the interviews with David Jaffe, and it was like, yeah, they asked like, yo, what's the best way to buy or support a game? And the guy was like, yeah, buying it day one is the best way to support the game. So in my opinion, I asked Uni, I was like, what's the most optimal way to support a developer? That's the question I was asking, 4 years ago, 3 years ago to people a lot, even here on the show. What's the most optimal way to support a developer? And that's to buy the game. I'm not saying that you should just go out there and buy every single game. I never said that, oh, just buy a game just to support whatever, how people just be making up shit. I made it pretty clear of what support developer means. Like, yeah, if there a developer built a good rapport with you where you're excited and you see what they're building and you see you're excited about it and you're interested in the game, yeah, go out and buy the game. You know what I mean? Even, you can even wait for a review, how people are, or you can wait to see if the game is buggy. Like, if the game is buggy, all right, fall back. But if a game is up to your standards, a game is up to your hype level, the game is looking good and you want to play, and it's something hype that you want to play, I don't understand what's so bad with saying, all right, go and buy the game if you're interested. That's what it means. It ain't nothing rocket science to the statement, but the lie is more entertaining than the truth, where people will take that simple quote, support a developer, and they will turn it into whatever for their own agenda or their own entertainment. You know what I mean? But yeah, here's what Shawn Layden is saying here. He's saying, I'm not a big supporter of the Netflix of gaming idea. Shawn Layden says, I think it's a danger. I mean, look what happened to music. In the popular mind, music costs nothing. Music should be free. Spotify, what is that? It's $15 a month or something, but virtually no one buys music anymore. Yeah. Yo, I remember I think I put out that I bought like Lil Wayne's last album. And people say, you bought that? You know what I mean? But this is what these things have done. I'm not saying that these services don't have a place. I'm not saying Game Pass don't have a place in the market, but it could be a detriment to a lot of people's spending habits in the market, and then when we see these developers and these goals not being hit, you know what I mean? Even with these games, even with Game Pass, something existing, PlayStation Plus, something existing, we're seeing more studios getting closed down. You know what I'm saying? More studios get closed down. They get all this money, profits. But yeah, it takes money to get these games into these services. It takes money to get these games into Game Pass. It's not like the money is going right back into developing a new game. The money is going right back into getting the other game into the service. While it's not an exact comparison, Layden suggests the ubiquity of the music via streaming catalogs has devalued individual releases. He said the problem with gaming is all we have is launch. Layden continues, that's it. No one wants to pay money to come into the studio and watch people code. Yeah, like what I'm gathering here and what I'm reading here, is Game Pass profitable? I mean, that's been the question for years. Is there somebody that, been in the industry, they have their stance, they have their idea, they have their ideology, that they don't like this particular service within the gaming industry because it hinders the gaming industry from their viewpoint, their stance, or yeah, exactly, their viewpoint. Whether you disagree or not, or whether you disagree, it's cool to disagree. You know what I'm saying? But this is somebody that had been working in the industry for years. Yo, Mike, what up, man? Somebody that been working in the industry for years, they will understand, like, okay, what it takes to bring money into a company, especially somebody that works with somebody like PlayStation. They will understand that the value proposition of like people, or the value of people buying their video games on a platform or platforms or what. The things I see people bringing up about Shawn Layden, about they saying that he worked for Tencent. Shawn Layden don't work for no goddamn Tencent, man. You know what I mean? I think he was on like an advisory board for Tencent. But fun fact, Shawn Layden came on What's Up PlayStation. And we asked that question about him working for Tencent. And he said he don't work for Tencent. See if I can pull that up. I can pull that up real quick. Oh yeah, right here.
And yeah, Shawn, want to say it
right here, man. Man, this is back in the day when our mics was a little bit different. We wasn't on camera. I don't think we was on camera this time yet in the 100th episode. The 100th episode, we're telling people like, yeah, we'll get on camera eventually. You know what I mean? That will be the lead up. I think the first time we got on camera was with Daniel Basutti.
as well, man. Congratulations on your new endeavor. Being a advisor for Tencent. That's a big news right there. When I saw that, I was like, Tencent just
when I saw that, I was like, Tencent, yo, why are you a nerd?
leveled up over 9,000.
Absolutely.
Look who's interrupting the intros. Bird once again. Bird, you're a habitual intro interrupter. You know what I'm saying? Yo, look at Bird super chat too. We get Shawn back on episode 200. Man, look at that. Look at that, bro. Episode 200 was the last one.
It got a big get with that.
I think, maybe
Yeah, I think we forgot to turn off the super chat so the notifications on here too.
some clarification is
Oh, let me turn this up just so make sure y'all can hear it.
advised here. I think maybe some clarification is advised here. I'm only working with Tencent Games in an advisory role. I'm not an employee, so to speak. I'm
not an employee.
I'm an advisor, but I'm helping them. I know the guys there. We've known them for a while.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen people talking about, yeah, man, we're not listening to Shawn. He worked for Tencent. I'm like, yo, he never said he worked for Tencent, man. You know what I mean? I remember this episode because it was like 2 days before there was articles saying that he worked for Tencent. And I remember talking with Persona, we was like, yo, the first thing we gonna say is like, yo, are you working with Tencent? You know what I mean? like I said, a lot of this stuff right here that he's mentioning, this ain't nothing new. This man has came on the podcast, like I said, 4 times and shared his disdain for these type of services and what it can do for the industry. You know what I mean? Saying they're not creating value or putting it in the marketplace, hoping it explodes, and profit sharing or overages and all the nice stuff. It's you pay me X dollars an hour, I build you a game. Here, go put it on our servers. I don't think that's really inspiring for games developers. And thinking he's talking from a developer perspective as well. He's not even talking for a consumer perspective. You know, at the end of the day, you got to look at the history where he's coming from. Like I said, he's the CEO of PlayStation, working in the industry for years. And he's speaking on a developer's standpoint. You know, and these comments about like how it is, this is the whole Game Pass effect. You know what I mean? That was being brought up for like years. You know what I mean? So I don't know why people are so shocked and like, oh, Shawn Layden's like this. With Shawn, like, say nothing new, man. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, what's good with y'all, man? Yo, Bird predicting the future. Yeah, Bird, man, he be interrupting the intros, man. You know, yo, Kieran, what up, bro? Yo, Kieran, man, I see that MK. I see MK is in PlayStation Plus, coming into PlayStation Plus, man. I might give it a go. I might give it a little swirl real quick. Pause. You know, I play you for 2 matches and I'm out. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the little Shawn Layden stuff. I'm seeing people upset about Shawn Layden, and I'm just like, yo, man, you would think that you would think somebody that worked in the industry, like, why can't he have an opinion on the industry? You know, and I'm looking at these tweets. Look at these tweets that these people saying. Weren't they approving Shawn Layden talk about the problems of PlayStation before? What? Weren't they approving Layden's talk about the problems of PlayStation? I don't even know what he mean by that. Yo, the thing is, like, even with the whole PC movement, yo, go back to episode 55. Go back and listen to that podcast. Even on that show, I disagreed with, like, yo, I don't think, you know, the mindset of what Shawn Layden was saying was we're putting these games on PC, like dangling the carrot in front of the horse or the rabbit or whatnot to attract them to the PlayStation ecosystem. Like, oh wow, part 2 is coming out. Oh man, I gotta get a PlayStation to play this game. And even when that was said, I was like, I don't really agree that people will have that mindset when it comes to putting the games on other platforms. They're just gonna wait. You know what I mean? And then now we see years later, the waiting, the 4 years, 5 years, it became shorter and shorter. Now they have a mandate that, you know, at least a year when it comes to single player tempo games. Yo, Foxen, what's good, bro? Bari back on Saturday mornings, just feel right. Yeah, man, it's been a minute, man. Been since what, like June? You know what I mean? Look at these dudes, yo. These dudes upset, man. He said, yo, Shawn only spews opinions which seen by ponies as truth. And nobody's saying the truth. That's his opinion. You know what I mean? That's like me going to, you know, I go to the mechanic, and the mechanic is like, yeah, man, your oil is bad. Your engine, it needs some work, and your back tires, it needs to be you know, put some new back tires in there. And I go to the you know, I mean, he's giving his assessment, you know, his experience working on cars for years, giving his assessment, doing his testing, doing or whatever. And I go back to him, I'm like, I think you're wrong, man. I think the windshield wipers need work. You know, work on the windshield wipers. You know, pretty much you're trying to tell somebody that's experienced in a specific field what they should say about the field that they are experienced in. Rather, and the flip of the coin is you don't have no experience in that field. You know, it's no different than a lot of you know, people on Twitter. They turn into accountants when fiscal year stuff come out. You know, these people have no experience in accounting. They really don't know how to read these numbers or forecasting. It's just one person say something and they regurgitate everything over and over and over, you know. And if somebody has an account that can read the numbers and tell you what it is and see how these forecasting stuff pans out, they can tell you what these numbers entail and what these detail means. And you'd be like, no, what the hell are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Trust me, I've seen it for years. I've seen it for years. And then, you know, a month later, a year later comes. That's what I always thought that. It's no different than this whole multi-platform thing with PlayStation or third party. A lot of people didn't think PlayStation was no third party, bro. A lot of people was telling me that PlayStation is not third party. Meanwhile, there's one person in this community. Your persona, what's good, bro? There's one person in this community telling people PlayStation is third party. You know, I've been on many podcasts. Like I said before, I'm happy that a lot of people, you know, they seen that. You know, I don't think it shouldn't have took, you know, 4 or 5 years to understand that. But hey, everybody's journey is different. You know what I mean? But yeah, these comments are wild, man. But also, before we start the show, yo, what's good, Wonka? Yo, Persona, what up, bro? I did a video talking about PlayStation and in my opinion, the biggest mistakes PlayStation has made this generation. A lot of y'all commented, a lot of y'all said some good points too, especially when it comes to like Bungie. You know, I think that's a mistake right there as well. I agree with the Bungie as well. That I feel like Bungie acquisition was a mistake, but I've been telling people that right from the rip. That when I saw that FAQ on Bungie, I was just like, yo, I don't know how this is beneficial to the core PlayStation audience. You know what I mean? You're not even, this acquisition is not even for PlayStation per se. And then even with that being said, you know, they stated out there that, oh, there's just to help them with their live service push. And what live service games did they come out with? You had Concord, that was a failure. You had Helldivers, that was a huge success. but that's not part of Bungie. Helldivers is nothing new. Helldivers is an old game. You know, Helldivers 1 came out years ago. You know, Helldivers 2 is just Helldivers 1 with a new view perspective. You know what I mean? People were trying to make it seem like Helldivers is like this new game and this new fresh idea. It's not. Helldivers 1 and 2 is pretty much the same game. That's a different perspective viewpoint now. Well, part 2. You know, you add a little bit more movement, you know, options because of the view angle, but pretty much the same game, same concept. Yo, a big hardcore game. What's up, man? Appreciate y'all coming through, man. But yeah, I made this video talking about the 5 biggest mistakes. If you haven't watched it yet, definitely go and check it out. You know, my first point was the whole, you know, PC push. I feel like, you know, as a PlayStation core audience, all the benefits that a lot of people like to claim, we're not reaping the benefits of this move. I feel like a lot of the PC money just goes right back into PC. You have a studio that's not even making games for, you know, the PlayStation console. It's just right back into PC. Whatever porting fund, you know, they use from the console gamer, you know, that goes into porting the game on PC. Whatever money they make from PC, that goes right back into porting another game on PC. You know what I mean? Like, we're not reaping the benefits of that, you know? And I feel like we've experienced enough years now where you're like, okay, are we seeing more? Are we seeing better for the PlayStation brand? I don't personally see it. Second one I have here is the whole PlayStation VR 2 support. That been abysmal. And yeah, that's PlayStation. That's a big L on PlayStation. Third one I have here is removing key features. I know how I feel about the features and how the PlayStation 5 feels now. Feels, you know, pretty bland experience as far as like a UI next gen feel. I'm not talking about the games once again. I'm talking about the feature sets of the console. You know, you don't have nothing really exclusive to the console anymore as far as like, hey, here's the reason why you should get a PlayStation 5. You know, I feel like if you're selling a console, you should have something that would tie people over. But everything that you had to tie people over, everybody can experience on other platforms. You know what I mean? And then the fourth one, I have the cancellation of stars. You already know how I feel about these loyalty programs. PlayStation have done this every generation now, and we're just sitting back quiet. Nobody's saying nothing. Hey, yeah, we're revamping, bring a new service over, and it never happens. You know, we've seen it on PlayStation 3, we've seen it on PlayStation 4, and we've seen it now on PlayStation 5. And then the last point I have here is the lack of PlayStation events. Like I said with this one, you know, a lot of people, if you didn't go to like a PlayStation experience, you wouldn't understand what I'm saying here. But like, yeah, going to these local events, well, not local, but going to these, you know, in-person events, it could be game changing, man. It could be game changing. It could build good rapport for the community. Also, we had a showcase tied to these, you know, PlayStation experiences. And yeah, I feel like it's missed. I feel like it's missed where on a community level, it was dope that, you know, you had this thing every year where you meet people from across the world that have the same love for PlayStation you have. And then you see the developers, you can just talk to them, you can just interact with them, you can play their game, you can talk, you know, do a little interview real quick, all this stuff if you want to. You know what I mean? It was just a dope experience, you know, and the fact that we had something like that for PlayStation and then it just went cold turkey, I think that's a big problem, in my opinion. Never used PlayStation Star. I think you should. I think you should have used it. It definitely was a cool service where people benefited from. But yeah, let me know your thoughts if you missed that video. Let me know your thoughts. Some of y'all had some good points in there. Some of y'all disagreed with some of my points, and you know, I understand people's disagreements and how they feel. But my biggest takeaway is always going to be like, you will never really understand where the console PlayStation gamer is coming from if you're not really playing on the console. You know, a lot of people that have these big disagreements and they don't see what the console gamers see because they're not playing on the console. You're not in the store, you're not buying the games on the console, you're not, you know what I mean? So you don't really understand what's going on. But anyways, that's a long ass intro, man. Let's get into it, man. This is the Jaybari Show, episode number 27. As you can see, we got 4 things we're gonna be talking about today. Got Ghost of Yotei gameplay. We got Black Ops 7 is not coming day 1 on the Switch, which is kind of crazy. We got Crimson Desert delay, and is the console wars truly over? Like, you know, a lot of people like to say console wars is over, console is over, but that's all they really are talking about is the console war. Yo, the people that despise the console wars talk about the console wars more than the console warriors. But we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. But let's get into this Ghost of Yotei gameplay. So yeah, the first gameplay video that we're gonna be showing here is the Kusarigama, where this is pretty much like the sickle, the chain and sickle weapon. And yeah, this is Suni Legend showing gameplay for, you know, pretty much my most anticipated game for this year, Ghost of Yotei. So let's check it out real quick and let's see what we can break down or what we can find when it comes to this new gameplay. Yo, that junk go hella far, bro. Not gonna lie. Just yanked him. Yo, the fact that you can just use this for like regular combat, or is this like it's a takedown weapon? Damn. Oh, there you go. That answered the question. She was using it as a regular weapon right here. Oop, oop, oop. Yo, y'all see that takedown, bro? Oh my God, yo, Atsu's a freaking beast. Damn. Oh, what was that, kunai? Oh no, it took up the spear and just yanked it at him. Oh, a headshot with a fire arrow, that's OD. Oh, so we got the fire stuff back on the game. Oh, fun. Hey, yo, bruh. That junk looks crazy, dog. The little snow environment, too. Like for me personally, you know what I'm wearing? I'm wearing white. I'm blending in, bro. Yeah, that fire, like imbuing the weapon with like fire, that's gonna be strong.
You don't scare me.
So that's something like new that they think they added here. Is like the whole stagger, where you can even like break their guard, or they can lose their weapon. Before, I think in Tsushima, you had to like, either they were like scared of you, where like they shock, where they don't want to fight you. And I think you use all your kunais to stun them. Like you can stun them and they go in that state. Now you have the weapon that can put them in that state. Man, that's looking good, man. That's the Q Surigama. And now we're gonna show the is it Mari or Yari? Oh, Yari gameplay. So like I said, this is all coming from Suni Legend. And this is the same marketing strategy that they used for Horizon. You know what I mean? Funny enough, remember that there was a certain light-skinned lisp talking gamer that was like, yeah, they need to go back to the Horizon marketing for their first party. You know, they haven't did that with Ragnarok. They ain't do that with Spider-Man. It seems like they're going back to that style, like showing little segments here and there, like they did with Horizon Forbidden West. All right, so here is the Yari. The Yari is, I think, the spear, right?
Counter. Are you really hurt?
Man. Oh, he got the double sickles. I wonder if you can you can have this. In fact, I think the chain is stronger though. Damn. Donatello kick. Yeah, that's funny as hell. Hey yo, this junk looking badass, bro.
Counter. Are you really hurt?
What's crazy, like the blood still stays on the ground. Oh, it looked like your companion is over here or something. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Like every time I see new gameplay or whatnot, I be thinking like, damn, man, we gotta wait till October. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like this game about to release in like July or August or even September. And nope. October 2nd, we get to play Ghost of Yotei. God's willing. Hopefully there's no delay or nothing too crazy that's happening. But yeah, man. I am pro. I am an advocate for these type of like videos where they keep on, you know, the showing gameplay, show even more cool stuff, man. Like maybe you show every weapon each week, and then the last week leading up, you just show the switching of everything that's in that one flow, that one fell swoop. I think that would be dope. But yeah, I like this type of marketing, you know, showing the gameplay, having somebody that knows the ins and outs of like highlighting good stuff about the game, like Suni Legend, to showcase that. Yeah, this is A1 marketing for me, person. This can sell me. Like say if I wasn't interested in Ghost of Yotei, or I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima, this would definitely like, oh wow, this game looks cool. Oh, you can do that. Oh, I can do the Donatello kick. That looks pretty cool. You know what I mean? I can throw some dust at somebody and then kick them off the bridge. Pretty cool. No, I can stealth kill somebody with the Kuri Surigama. You know, I think that's dope, man. Hopefully, we see some more of that. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima Collector's Edition is copped. Digital Deluxe is copped. You know, most likely we'll be doing a giveaway, you know, for the game. I think the Collector's Edition comes with like a digital code. We'll mix that into like a giveaway or something for that. But yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for Ghost of I'm hyped for Ghost of Yotei, man. You know what I mean? All right, yo. Let's talk about this Black Ops 6. I mean, oh, Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7. Matter of fact, did I even give my impressions on Battlefield 6? Like, I think Battlefield 6 is a cool game. I do think there's some inconsistencies with like the hit detection. Obviously it's a beta, but some of the stuff feels very inconsistent. I still think spawns is bad. The squad base spawning, I'm not the biggest fan of that. That's one of the reasons why I don't really like a lot of the newer CODs, because I'm just not a fan of that system. You know, I feel like it just becomes too chaotic. You know what I mean? There's no organization, you know, within it. It's just pure chaos. You know, like I ain't young no more, man, where I can be like, hey, head on the swivel every goddamn time, man. I'm getting old, man. You know what I mean? These games nowadays, you got to play like you on Mountain Dew for like, you know, they're like, damn, I just cleared off like 4 of these dudes, and then you're shooting. You thinking that they're coming from this point, you know, off the map, but now they're coming right behind you. Like, how that logic works? How are they coming right behind me? Oh, because there's probably Jimmy 2 left feet that is over to the left of you, and then they spawn all on Jimmy 2 left feet, but in the behind you. He's to the left, but they spawn behind it. It's because they got to be spawning in that vicinity. There's no real logic. That's spawning close to that vicinity of that person. Shit crazy, man. Yo, King, what up, man? Will Hancock, what up, man? Yo, Henry Hat, what's good, bro? You know what I mean? He said, of course it will sell you. You're a fanboy. Yeah, you know what it is. You like Ghost of Yotei? Oh, you're a fanboy. Console Wars, man. Console Wars. It's no different. Yo, listen, yo. Oh, matter of fact, I saved that tweet. I'll save that tweet for the Console War talk. Because, yo, you can say the simplest shit and people just take that as Console Wars. But, yo, bro, in me creating this tweet, I was even thinking how you were thinking. You know what I mean? I'm just making a tweet, just making an assessment. And you associate it with Console War. But all right, let's talk about this Black Ops 6 real quick. I mean, I keep saying Black Ops 6. Black Ops 7. Obviously, they said that the reveal for multiplayer is going to come like in Gamescom, I think. Or more of the game is going to be revealed during Gamescom. Which, when is Gamescom, by the way? Is Gamescom next week, right? Is it like... When is Gamescom? Is it the 20th or the 21st? I know it's something like that. It might be the 21st. So next week. Oh, is it Tuesday? Damn, that's pretty early. So regardless is next week. So we'll see more of Black Ops 7. Cause yeah, I'm still a fan of Treyarch. Like when it comes to Black Ops 6, I like the gameplay a lot for Black Ops 6. It's just everything surrounding Call of Duty since 2019, in my opinion. It doesn't become fun. You know what I mean? The kill streaks ain't even fun no more. Just the skill based matchmaking doesn't make the game fun. Everything that's surrounding the game. The gameplay for Black Ops 6 is excellent. I like the gameplay a lot. I like the Omni movement a lot. You know what I mean? But there's nothing really to really encourage you to do Omni movement. You know what I mean? Like if there was like, there's more like benefits to performing the Omni movement, then I think you would have that finer balance with the game. But yeah, well, everything surrounding it, you lose interest quick in my personal opinion. Everybody else that's probably playing it, hey, that's cool. But for me, I lose interest with it. So Black Ops 7 is coming out soon. I got my eyes on it. Not saying that I don't have interest on seeing how the game's gonna look, because it's from Treyarch. If it's from Treyarch, I'm gonna check it out. But my hype for Call of Duty definitely been dwindling from 2019 to now. Like, I'm not like super hype for Call of Duty from all of that. You know what I mean? But seeing this news, I was kind of shocked, because I was like, okay, Black Ops 6 is coming out this year. And then I see this news pop up saying the upcoming Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 will not be available on the Switch 2 at launch, according to a reliable insider. So this is coming from Bill Kuhn. In 2023, Microsoft has signed a binding 10-year legal agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo platform. So when I saw that, I was like, this is funny as hell, because as I'm reading this, I'm like, yeah, they say Black Ops 7 will be releasing on Xbox Series consoles, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. So in my mind, I'm like, how are you releasing the game on PlayStation 1 and 4? I mean, on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but not on the Switch 2? I can understand the Switch. Yo, no cap. Yo, sick man, I appreciate it, bro. Welcome to the new Soldier First Class. I appreciate it, man. You something. Like I said, I will be doing a video explaining you know, the members and all that stuff at a later time. I'm not ready to announce everything yet, but I do appreciate y'all you know, becoming a member. You know what I mean? But some of the benefits are coming back when it comes to the Soldier First Class stuff. You know what I mean? But y'all, I appreciate it, sick man. Hope you're having a good morning. I'm gonna need you to stop cutting it off. Yeah, man, I cut it off because, yo, I wasn't doing like videos like that consistently. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I can't have something like that up where I ain't do a video in like 2 months. Yeah, I'm like, nah, that don't feel right in my personal opinion. You know what I mean? He said, yo, we cool with supporting while you getting your shit together. Yeah, I understand that, but that's more like a personal thing for me. Like, I don't feel comfortable doing something like that. But he's saying here that it's launching on all these platforms, but it won't be launching on the Switch 2 day one. So they said this doesn't necessarily mean the game will never receive a Switch 2 port in the future. Simply it won't be ready day one, which I just feel like is weird, because the Switch 2 is a capable console. You know what I mean? From what I'm experiencing with the Switch 2, with some of these games getting a big bump in performance and I want to say resolution, not really graphics, but resolution. You know, I don't really see like what's the real reason why you wouldn't be able to launch this game on the Switch 2. You know, when everybody says like, oh, this is a great thing that Microsoft now owns Call of Duty because more people get to play. And then when they sign this whole, you know, contract, this binding contract for 10 years, this is great. And the game ain't even launching on the new hardware with every other console, but you're launching on hardware that's like, you know what I mean? That's super old. Xbox One or PlayStation 4. That shit don't make no sense to me. You know what I mean? He said Billy Coon believes the game will release on other formats November 14th, stating that this date has already been reported by a previous leaker and that their information corroborates with this. So yeah, Bill Coon, this dude, he definitely got some insider information or some tip, because I don't believe everything I've seen about this guy or whoever it is, guy, girl, I don't know who it is. Anything that comes from this account or this Deal Labs website, they never been wrong. Obviously they got some type of time with it, even when it comes to like, oh, this game is going to be shown at a showcase. It be spot on. So if I see stuff like this from this account, I'm more tend to gonna believe it. You know what I mean? But I just feel like it was kind of shocking that the Switch 2 new hardware that's selling well, from my understanding, I think it was like at 3 million now, probably even beyond that. That you wouldn't want, now that you're launching your games on everything, you wouldn't want to launch it or get it day one from one of the biggest developers that got a lot of money. Money is not an issue. You know what I mean? You're putting the game on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So is I don't think the Switch 2 platform's the issue. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some weird Nintendo shit that they gotta go through. But a big game like this not launching day one, like the other platforms on the Switch, that's a multi-platform game. It's kind of like a big deal, in my opinion. But we'll see. They try to tie in the whole the Biden 10 year legal agreement that Microsoft said they're gonna put all the put Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms, but it's not even on the Switch one. Kind of wild to me, bro. Kind of wild to me. No, thank you. I'm good. But yo, y'all let me know y'all thoughts when it comes to this, man. Is it more of like a crazy plot going on as far as like there's no Switch 2 version day one? Is Microsoft living up to their binding agreement? I thought this was gonna be better for everyone. Yo, Hondo, what's up, man? I thought that Microsoft owning this company, it'll be better for everyone. Everyone eats, except for Nintendo now. You know what I mean? Pure craziness over there, over at Microsoft and Activision. But like I said, I'll be keeping my eye out on that Black Ops 7. You know what I mean? Because I want to see what Treyarch is learning, from this. But yo, Call of Duty just looks different now, bro. You know what I mean? Like looking at not Black Ops, but Battlefield 6, right? And then looking at Black Ops 6, stark difference, bro. Like I understand, yeah, you have your regular attire that you can put onto these specialists on Black Ops 6, but nobody's doing that. I be seeing like these gameplay that people will upload from like Call of Duty content creators, and it really does look like Fortnite, bro. It really does look like Fortnite was running around, all these crazy characters running around for Call of Duty. You're not even making like the regular specialists like cool. Like give them outfits to make them look cool. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. The Call of Duty cycles begins again. Yo, bro, yeah, I bought Black Ops 6 because like I said, I'm a Treyarch fanboy. You know what I mean? And I wanted to see like what this Omni movement was for. But right away they kind of showed the new Omni movement. You know what I mean? This Call of Duty, they haven't really shown anything that's like, all right, what's the pull? What's the draw to this Call of Duty this year? They ain't really shown nothing. Just this. They got my man from the Hero show. What's the dude name? He was Rocky Balboa's son. I forgot his name. But he was in Heroes. They just showed his cutscene. And like, all right, bro, we see you when we see you. I feel like Black Ops 6, when they showed that, it's like, oh wow, that looks different. How they moving. But most likely, you're probably gonna get that trailer, and then you're gonna get the multiplayer reveal next weekend. So I'm not really tripping over it. Yo, at the end of the day, like Call of Duty kills themselves, bro. Yo, like people can't use that whole excuse anymore that, oh, you don't like Call of Duty because Microsoft owns, you know, the bullshit that people be saying. Because these are like long time Call of Duty people. These people putting like thousands of hours in this game. If you look up content creators that are about Call of Duty, they're not happy with Call of Duty. They're not happy with Call of Duty at all, bro. You know what I mean? From the cheating, from the skins that's just overtaking the game. You know what I mean? Like Call of Duty has lost its identity in general. And this has been happening for years. This has been happening for years. This is not nothing new. It's been happening years. People are still holding on to that hope that they will get that old school Call of Duty feeling. So you go out and you go buy this game because, you know, you've been buying this game for, you know, a decade or even longer, you know. But it more and more we're seeing people like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? A Black Ops 7 gets announced and you don't really see like super hype for it. Maybe that would change next week. But typically when you see a Call of Duty get announced, you know, the hype is throughout the roof. But you don't really see it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you mean Beavis and Butthead would it be in military conflict? Yo, listen, yo. It's Beavis and Butthead. It's American Dad. They got a whole bunch of joints, bro. It's just cartoon characters galore. They already had like their anime characters, which been in the joint for long, but now it's just like you got like anime, cartoon, TV shows. Shit, you might as well add the Simpsons. Oh, the cheating is crazy too in Call of Duty. People be thinking like we be making this stuff up, and no, we don't make this stuff up. This joint is real, bro. The cheating is disgusting in that game. Even with Battlefield 6, sometimes I feel like you can just tell when somebody cheating. Like, huh? This don't feel right, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't no scrub out here, but this might be something. This brother might be cheating. You know? Look at that person that uploaded their gameplay, talking about they aiming, and they told me they wasn't cheating. That person got banned off of Twitch or whatnot, whatever platform they were streaming on. Told me they wasn't cheating. Then they had the audacity. It's like, hey, it's my hand cam. The hand cam not even matching up with a person's movements. This person is snapping. The snapping. Bop, 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 bop. Laser snap. And I mean, I get it, mouse and keyboard, but you ain't snapping with precision like that perfectly on every instance. You know what I mean? Even when people are shooting at you and this person's snapping headshot. Bop, bop. It don't add up, man. It don't add up. Is what I'm saying. But yeah. Switch 2. Primary Switch owners that play the Switch as their primary console. No Black Ops 6, no 7 for you, day one. Now take that up with Microsoft. All right, let's get into this one right here. But this one hurts my soul. This one hurts me pretty bad, y'all. Crimson Desert got delayed to next year. And honestly, I feel bad for the game, bro. I feel like if you're a game that was scheduled to be released this year and you got pushed out to next year, I feel bad for you, man. You know what I mean? I feel like Crimson Desert could be one of those games that could be a game changer. This game is a game changer. Not even think. I know this game's a game changer. Bro, from what I've played at PAX, and that was just bosses, I'm just like, yo, the level of detail and depth within this game is crazy. Like, if you, from my understanding, from what I played, if you think you can do it in this game, bro. Like, yo, I promise you, bro. Like, we watched like the little video before we played, and there was one instance where they showed the gameplay where dude just did like a RKO to like one of the enemies. So in my gameplay, I was fighting this, I forgot what's the second boss name. I forgot this boss name. It was like the desert dude, and he can teleport and all that. Yo, I ran up to the dude, right? And I kicked him. Like I did like a kick, and he got kicked away. So I was running up again on him, and he's getting up. And all of a sudden, at this moment, I didn't even know like the buttons per se. I knew the buttons, but I was just like, just pressing shit. And yo, my man just grabbed his head, and just boom, like stunned him. And I was like, yo, this game is crazy, bro. This game is wild, bro. From like the blocking takes some time to get used to, but it's so detailed, bro. You can like blind enemies like vision with like your sword, so you can like hold up the block button, and then your sword can blind the enemy from like the sun glare. So you like put the glare in the enemy eyes. I'm like, yo, all this stuff you can do within boss fights. This is just not regular engagements. You're doing these to the bosses, bro. And I'm just like, yo, man, this game is good. Yo, we went back twice. We had to go back again just to get another playthrough, because that's how good the demo was. I didn't even care how long you had to wait. The game was that good. So you know what I mean? This was like definitely one of the most anticipated games for this year, because of what I played from PAX East. And then hearing now that the game is getting delayed to 2026, they said Q1 2026. I just feel bad for any game, bruh. I just feel bad for any game that is getting released in 2026, Q1, Q2, whatever, because I feel like when 2026 hit, the mindset for majority of the gamers is Grand Theft Auto 6. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter how compelling the gameplay is for this joint. Like, we're gonna show some of the gameplay here. Like, how compelling the gameplay is for this joint. The game, Grand Theft Auto 6, is gonna take over any type of hype for this game. You know what I mean? And yo, 2026, like, yo, if you're releasing in that, even in February till April, May, a little bit after whenever, matter of fact, when is Grand Theft Auto 6 coming? May, right? May 2026. April, I want to say February, March, April, May, June. You're releasing in that in that period. It's gonna be bad, yo. It's gonna be bad. But yeah, I love the hell out of this game, man. And I'm just sad that it's launching in 2026. I'm more hyped for this game than GTA 6, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people is not going to believe that, but I'm more hyped for this than GTA. Let me try to show some of the gameplay of what I'm talking about here. But they're showing like more open world stuff here. You can fast forward some of this. You got strong, my man. I forgot what the dude name is though. All right, here we go. Yo, Byron, what up, man? Yo, Jemai, what's good, man? Marathon DOA. Is Marathon, yeah, Marathon 2026 too as well? Oh, man. GG's. Yo, you see what the enemy just did to him? Typically, you know, the normal AI for enemy, they're gonna strike you, right? The enemy just threw him. Like, the stuff that happens in this game is crazy, bro. My man grabbed him, just threw him. Okay, fire. Yo, there's a slash in this game too. I forgot what it was called, but that jump was super strong. Look at that. Now you got a spare. And yo, real talk, everything that you will see about this game, if I didn't play, I wouldn't believe it, bro. If I didn't play this game, let's say I didn't play this game at PAX East, I still wouldn't believe some of the stuff that I'm seeing here. I'd be like, yeah, it's not real. Oh yeah, that jumping is very effective. Oh, that's a new ability there. I never seen that one. Look what everything is going on, bruh. Look what everything is going on, bruh. From the fire, the particle effects. Look at all the enemies on screen. This is the ice one? Yeah, I think it's the ice ability, yeah. Yo, listen, man, a lot of these Western developers, they putting the industry on notice, man. Like, yo, listen, this is what we got in our bag, yo. Look at what's going on, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. This game was gonna be sick, man. I'm just mad this joint got delayed, bro. But I really wanted to play this, man. Especially like after like Yotei. I was like, all right, man, I'm about to dive into this game. And it's brutal too, yo. The bosses, this is not an easy game, to be honest with you. You see how he's holding the shield up? Yeah, oh my God, man. 2026, y'all. Oh, that's a new move right there. I never seen this one. This is a new move. Probably earn this a little bit later. Oh yeah, in the demo that we played, I don't think we had the spear either. We just had the sword. We had the shield. We had the bow and arrow. I want to say there was like other equipment or other items that you can use. They gave us a lot of potions too, because they know the bosses was hard. Like, I didn't play the hardest one. The crab was like the hardest boss, but that was like the longest demo. I played the second hardest boss. I beat that boss. And I played the third hardest boss and I beat that boss. And those fights was like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? The other boss was like the crab. That was more like one of those gimmick type bosses where you had to like play within the environment. You have to destroy like certain things off the shell and before you can actually do anything. But I just wanted to get more of like, all right, what's the melee is like with this game. So I didn't do those. I didn't do that last boss. Hold up, they playing this on a PlayStation? Bro, this is on a PlayStation, bro. Or it could be PC that's using DualSense. I would assume this is a PC. But you know what's funny about these games, bruh? And I noticed this with a lot of like delays. They would announce the delay and be like, hey man, we need more time for polish. Whatever reason the delay, the reason for the delay is. And then right after they announced the delay, they got a whole bunch of gameplay to show. You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, I'm like, you're delaying the game to 2026. And then you're showing new gameplay. For me, like somebody that's hyped to play this game, that's upsetting me even more. To be like, yo, damn, I gotta wait even longer to play this joint. Showing this new gameplay. And it looks good too. Yo, really and truly though, 2026. Obviously, we know we got Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out. But there's games that I'm super hyped for. Phantom Blade 0. Ties of Annihilation. Like those two games, yeah, I can't wait to play those. You know? What else got pushed to 2026? I'm not excited to play Marathon. I'm good on Marathon. Y'all can play that. and give y'all impressions on Marathon. Damn, yo, you see all that damage that he was doing? He barely did any damage though to this boss. Look at this. Like what? 10%, 8%? Boss is fucking him up though. Oh yeah, Marvel Tokon, Pragmata. Pragmata I'm excited for. Tokon I'm excited for. But Marvel Tokon is in like its own like thing. Like if you're in the fighting games, you're gonna play Marvel Tokon. You know what I mean? I don't think whenever Marvel Tokon releases, I don't think like GTA is gonna really truly affect it. It might affect it a little bit, but anybody that's gonna want to play a fighting game, they're gonna buy Marvel Tokon. And he actually messing him up a little bit. Hey, yo, did he just pick this up? Nah. Oh, damn. Nah, there's a parry to it, but it's not like the typical parry that is just one button. You have to hold the shield and then watch the timing. You got to press the other button to parry. So it's like a shield bash kind of thing. You know, like a typical action game, you just press that one button and it just parries whatever or do whatever. This game, you got to be in that position. But yeah, I'm a little upset, man, that Crimson Desert got delayed. You know, I think it's a great time for a lot of these action games that's coming out. You know, we have what you call Lost Soul Aside coming up very, very soon. Very excited for that. I see a lot of people kind of got difference of opinions of Lost Soul Aside. They saying that they don't think it's going to be good. I don't understand this notion where people that prefer gameplay out of everything, you think that Lost Soul Aside is not going to be good. You know, like on a gameplay perspective. Your Eastern developers wiping the floor with Western developers in terms of quality and gameplay. Yeah, my bad. I said Western. I mean Eastern. Yeah, the Eastern developers, I've been liking their games a lot, man. Like some of my favorite games this gen. Not saying that, you know, people over here on the West don't have like great games, but yo, Liza P, amazing. Black Myth Wukong, amazing. Wu Chang, amazing. Then you're gonna have Lost Soul Aside. We're gonna see how that is. Like a lot of these games have been pretty fun. You know, they're not like the big blockbuster reviews that's super high, but personally I've been having a lot of fun with these games. A big shout out to Wukong. I said Wukong, Wu Chang. They did a update to the game. It kind of made the game easier, in my opinion, where her healing animation is much faster and she can cancel a lot of that animation much faster. And there was a thing before this update came in Wu Chang where like bosses or enemies can knock you down, but you're not in an invul state when you're knocked down. Like they can still hit you. And some of the deaths in this game, yo, you've done a lot because of that. But it made the game a little bit more, it made the game harder because you have to like, I can't be so overly aggressive, because if I do that and I get knocked down and there's enemies in this state, I can die pretty quickly. But now in the last update, they made it where you have like this invul state as you're waking up in the game. So if you get knocked down and say a boss is swinging at you, an enemy swinging at you, they can't hit you. You know, they won't be able to hit you for a couple of frames. So you have a little bit more ease to get out of there, or, you know, even to attack. So I feel like it made the game much easier, in my opinion. But there's some stuff with that update that I didn't like, where there was like this what is more so to do with like farming. They had like these NPCs in the game where they're like workers in the game, but sometimes they would attack you. But you could kill them in the game. Like, so you can kill them and you get like your red mercury from them, but you can no longer kill them. You just see them there now in the game. You know what I mean? And sometimes it made it really hard because you had those NPCs where they're cowering, they're running away from you or whatnot, but you can still lock onto them. So they will mix it up where you had enemies that was coming at you within that area, but you also had those NPCs. But there's so much lock-ons that you have to worry about. So they kind of made that area much harder. Now you can't lock onto them. So it makes that area much easier. So even though, like, say you want to avoid it to kill them, you know, you can just do so now by just playing the game. It's like, even if you're swinging, it won't hit them at all. It just go right through them and whatnot. Yo, Baltimore's, what's up, man? You see your Bari, I saw your gameplay during, is that Summer Game Fest? Going this gameplay during Summer Game Fest. Then picked up Get Pillar. Oh yeah, he picked up a pillar and bashed him over the head with it. I was sold. Yeah, yo, this was kind of crazy. My man just picked up that pillar. In any of the boss fights, I don't know about the last one, but any of the boss fights that I experienced, there was no like pillar there to like pick up or whatnot. So I don't know if that's an ability you get like later in the game, but we couldn't do that during the PAX demo. But yeah, I just feel bad for this game, man, because how much gameplay this game has to offer and how everything just works in tandem, like everything that's like, it just flows. Like once you have the understanding of like where the button layouts and what to do, it just feels real good. Like the first time playing the bosses or the first boss, even though I beat it, it was a big struggle because I didn't really understand it. But the second time I went into it, went for the harder boss, which was hard, but I had more of an understanding of how like the blocking and the parry worked and how this attack worked. So it just flowed much better, you know? But now, launching in 2026, regardless of the flow and regardless of gameplay and exploration and things that you can do, mechanics, all that stuff in the game, I feel like it's gonna get ignored now, bruh. People gonna pack that joint up for real, like, cause yeah, most likely, let's say if this game does come or release nearest to GTA 6, what do you think people gonna choose? They're gonna choose that, you know, GTA 6, man. But we'll see. There's still hope for it. I think the gameplay is gonna be good enough to where it's gonna attract an audience, but it's gonna be hard, man, to go against Grand Theft Auto. All right, so here we go. Let me change the colors on these. Here we go. We gonna talk about the console wars. We gonna talk about the console wars, y'all. Is the console wars truly over? Everybody hates the console wars, but all they do is talk about the console wars. I hate the console wars, but let me talk about the console wars and what the console warriors are doing. There's so much shit I'm coming across on Twitter. It's funny as hell to me, man. Like the people that be thinking that they're not console warring, you're console warring. You don't even know it. That shit crazy, bro. You know, I put out this tweet the other day, yo. Man. Where just a simple ass tweet. You know, sometimes in the day, you have to be vibing. It's like, let's put this out real quick. You know, I keep seeing the console wars are over. 'Cause that's what people are saying, right? You know, PlayStation, third party, multi-platform developer. You know, now I have motherfuckers telling me, Jaybari, PlayStation is a third party developer and publisher. You telling me that? The nerve the audacity to sit down and try to tell me that after 3-4 years of me telling y'all that. Now July hit, PlayStation third party. Cause they put a game on Xbox. Meanwhile, they've been publishing games on PC and Nintendo. They wasn't third party then. Now you have all these people trying to tell me PlayStation third party. Sit your ass down, please. You're a little too late to that party. You ain't telling nobody shit. But anyways, I keep seeing people saying the console wars is over. I've been seeing this for the longest, you know, especially when Helldivers got announced to Xbox. Console wars are really truly the console wars is it really truly it is over. You know? But with that being said, people keep saying the console war is over, but majority of the content or the majority of things that they talk about is console wars or what console warriors are doing or saying. Motherfuckers be having whole topics. And the whole point of this tweet is to point out is that, yo, if you're so against the console wars, why are you keep on talking about it? People was trying to spin it on me, trying to say, oh, look at you. This is the pot. This is the what's the saying? The pot calling the kettle black or whatever the saying is. I'm like, no, this I never said that I'm done with console war. Who the fuck says that? I never said that shit. You know what I mean? My views on console wars is different than a lot of people's views on console wars. People's views on console wars this day and age is personal jabs, not about the consoles. You know, it's not about saying this game sucks and this whatever. They're not about saying that shit. They want to take personal jabs at you about your life and all that shit. You know, so I'm saying, yo, a majority of the people that I see say these things. But I'm not really seeing PlayStation. I follow a lot of people from PlayStation. I'm not seeing PlayStation fans overly saying the console wars are over. It's these Xbox PC bum ass gamers, the ones keep mentioning it. You know what I mean? And yes, that's what they are. They are Xbox fanboys that game on PC and they suck at games. Those are the ones that keep saying it. All they do is talk about console wars, left and right. Well, you know, this person said what this person said. If you're so against it, why are you worried about what this person is saying? You know, if you're not in that avenue of gaming discussions, why you keep putting yourself in that avenue of gaming discussions? You got people that detest the console wars, but all they do is show up on people podcasts that do console wars. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers will go on a podcast or they will say, oh man, yeah, the console wars is over. Give it up, y'all. It's just childish. It's just immature. Oh my goodness. It's just toxic. Why would you console wars now, man? It's just it's getting old. Just stop. Right? All that tweet, all that left and right, all that message that they seen. And then a day later, 2 days later, they on a podcast that's console war. If you look at the topic that they talking about. I'm like, yo, what the fuck going on? There's mixed messages going on here. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, huh? Okay, yeah, man. You against the console, I respect that, bro. You know what I mean? You done with that whole discussion. You see what Microsoft is doing. You see what the PlayStation is doing. You done with it. I got you. But then you revert right back. It's doing it. This tweet is not about me. I've never said I'm done with any type of console wars. We had a podcast that don't console war. You know what I mean? That podcast that we created was specifically to talk about PlayStation without mentioning other platforms. You know what I mean? I feel like, yo, you can have a PlayStation podcast where you don't need to mention no Xbox, Nintendo, or PC. There's so much news coming out from PlayStation. Obviously, not 100% everything is going to be just about PlayStation, especially this day and age where everybody is just like meshing together. You know what I mean? Where you have Xbox doing news or Microsoft doing stuff where they're buying up publishers that they put these games on PlayStation, and PlayStation putting their games on other platforms. So yeah, that cross-pollination of the conversation is going to happen eventually, because yeah, that's what they're leading into. But majority of it is mainly about just the PlayStation platform and what we think about it, or from a perspective from a PlayStation gamer. But that nobody ever said that, hey, we weren't for, you know, cracking our jokes here and there on our personal Twitter page or personal YouTube channel. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of people out here that would detest all these things. But every single time I see these motherfuckers on the on Console War podcast, and these people think they not console. These people is like, yo, this is not Console War, folks. Well, PlayStation sucks. It's a terrible platform. I would never buy this game because they didn't put it on my platform first. You know, I'm like, what the fuck going on? I'm like, what the hell is going on out here, man? You know what I mean? Let's look at the tweets right here, man. Look at the comments on this tweet right here. What? The console war is over. You're amazing. Look at this guy. Yeah, the console war is over. Like I said earlier, the console war is over. The console war will never be over. Console exclusivity is eventually coming to an end with PlayStation and Xbox. Next up is content wars. Oh, and no one cares about Nintendo. The whole content wars thing don't make no sense. Content wars is gonna always be with a console. You know what I mean? Regardless of what content people are putting out there. Just look at Microsoft alone. Microsoft put majority of their content on multiple platforms, but people are still going to be like, Xbox is better than PlayStation due to whatever Xbox is doing on their platform. You know what I'm saying? People's talking about it's platform wars or it's content war. That shit don't make no sense. What's the platform? The console. You know what I mean? The content, regardless if it's on multiple platforms, some people's going to be like, oh, I prefer to play this game on this platform rather on this platform. You know what I mean? Yo, Aaron, what up, man? He said, I agree the console wars between Sony and Microsoft's over though, but the community's not over. Yeah, it's never going to be over per se. It's over really and truly, but it's never going to die out between this community. Fanboys in general, are you engaging in the console wars? Y'all point fingers at each other instead of being accountable for your actions. The fanboys will always find a reason to hate. I mean, this tweet right here, I agree with this tweet. I actually agree with this guy right here. Stone Jedi. You know what I mean? Majority of this, yeah, I agree with this. Of course, people's going to point fingers. People have a certain view on how they look at a certain console, you know, regardless, you know, like with me, I will point out stuff that Microsoft has done good. You know what I mean? Yo, Persona, what up? Yeah, let me know if you want to come through. I will point out things that Microsoft done well, but majority of stuff that Microsoft does when it comes to the console and how their approach with gaming, I'm not really for. So yeah, I'm going to always have that bias there. But the whole accountability part, I agree. A lot of these people are not accountable for what they say. They're not gamers, they're rage baiters. Xbox. Nah, it's the PlayStation fanboys who are keeping it going. Like really, who? A lot of the PlayStation fans what they do is they point out the shit that these dudes are doing, because it's so lopsided as far as like some of the craziest shit in the world that these Xbox or these PC people will be saying. Bro, nobody really talks about that stuff. You know what I mean? You have certain PlayStation content creators that do, that talk about this stuff or point it out, but at the end of the day, compared to, you know, these PC guys, what they call assault content guys, yo, you have like 20 of these dudes, you know, creating the same videos. They saying the same message, left and right. I'm just like, damn, you got one person says that, you know, Hellblade 2 is now running great on PlayStation 5 Pro or whatnot. And then you have like 20 of these dudes make content on the same shit. Like, you don't really see PlayStation people doing that. You know what I mean? Like, you have one or two people, three the most, probably doing stuff like that. But you have these Xbox PC defender motherfuckers. Some of these people don't play on Xbox, bro. They defend everything that you say about Xbox. And they own it. It don't matter what your opinion is, they own it. They quick to drop 20 videos on it. So I don't know what this motherfucker talking about right here. Can you all just be happy and play games? Yeah, I mean, I wish a lot of people just be happy and play games. Hence, that's what I said right here. How about you beat a game, scrub? Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Beat a game. I don't know if I joined. Did I join? I didn't hear that. Is this a new feature? Oh, this got to be like a new feature now with Discord. I joined it. You know how Discord normally had that? I didn't hear that.
Oh, I heard it when you joined in.
Oh, you heard it?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't hear it. Hold on. Let me make sure I have this right. Say something.
Yo, what's up, man?
Yeah, it's here.
What's good with you, man? Yo, good show. Jaybari show on point right now. It's getting me through my morning for sure.
Oh yeah, man. I'm chilling, man. We on the console war topic. So is the console war is truly over, man.
First of all, this feels like this feels like a Whoops episode because it is 11.
What's up?
What's you heard? Yeah, yo, listen, you know, we was talking about this a little bit yesterday, so you know, I definitely just want to, you know, chime in real quick. Yeah, yo, listen, when it comes, I seen the tweet that you was talking about when it comes to the quote tweets. I was actually looking at that because I was like, hold up, you know, what's going on with this? Like, let me see what Barry talking about. And so when I was looking at the quote tweets, I was just like, damn, bro, like it's crazy how disrespectful someone can be to someone they don't know off of just a difference of opinion. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like if you don't agree with, like, oh yeah, you don't think the console wars is over, that's fine. But you know, oftentimes we tend to see people that go so far to the left or so far to the right, and they tend to start to be very rude or disrespectful because obviously it's the internet, so people feel safe or emboldened behind a keyboard to do that. But in terms of the console war in itself, I mean, Barry, we've been. It's funny that this is all kind of coming to head now because, first of all, I got to give you your flowers because you know you were talking about this 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago. You know when we first started Whoops, or before Whoops, honestly, and then
bro, they trying to tell me now, Persona. Look at you know, rambling be in the chat sometimes. Look, the console war been over. PlayStation's multi-platform. I hit him with, you telling me this? You think like you're 4 years late, brother?
Yo, that's the thing, yo. It's like, yo, and even with Whoops, with a lot of the things that we were saying when it came to PlayStation and certain moves that they were making, especially with the PC move, I have to go back and find not just the episodes of Whoops, but even certain episodes of When Persona Speaks, where I was asking the same questions, where especially with the whole PC move, where I was asking, like, you know, when those things happen, what do PlayStation fans get when the walls come down? What is it that a PlayStation gamer is? What is the benefit for the PlayStation gamer? Those were the questions that I was asking, which now we still don't really see the benefit of that because we're getting less state of plays, less showcases, less game announcements, less, interacting with developers. You know, things are kind of just moving in the sense of, yeah, we're just going to do what we do and not really inform the gamer or keep the gamer, the hardcore gamer, informed on what's going on, which to me, I find very strange that they would go so far to the right with such a way of how they're doing things now. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. In terms of the console war in itself, online and social media, I mean, listen, bro, it's what we've been seeing and saying for a long time. You know, rage bait, rage content, and things of that nature. It's what pays the bills for a lot of content creators now, because unfortunately, a lot of and it's not everyone, but if it does apply, if you feel offense to what I'm going to say, then it applies to you, unfortunately. But a lot of content, a lot of today's content creators within this community or this space don't necessarily have, one, the creativity to really create their own content, and two, they're not really playing enough games to really speak
on games. Yeah.
To speak on games or speak in depth on games.
Yo,
So
Chuck, what up, man?
what you're seeing right now is a shift in content, in video game content creation, to what we're seeing now with the grifting content, the rage bait content, the content that's kind of centered around critiquing what others are saying on social media, as strictly what they do. You know, it's, oh, this fanboy says something, let me make a video about it. You know, oh, Bari said the console wars is over, let me make a video about it. Oh, this person said this about this.
They definitely queuing up. They queuing up.
Yes, it's not a video. And the thing is, even when you watch the video or watch the content, they really don't have their own point.
Yeah, they're not tackling the point.
Yeah, they're not tackling, like, there's no rebuttal. It's just, oh, look at this fanboy crying about this, ha 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 ha, and they, you know, that's the video.
And you got Sony's dick up your ass. They say some stuff like that.
Yeah. Typically, that's what you tend to see, which again goes back to my first point of no real creativity, even in the Salt content. You know, a lot of Salt content, it really doesn't have any creativity either. So, that's why you kind of seeing it happen. And honestly, if the console war truly is over, and you truly do see console war back and forth die out on Twitter or on social media, you're going to see a lot of those channels kind of fade away as well, because the bread and butter of their content is the console war. So of course, for a lot of them, they're going to continue
those channels will never die out, because it doesn't matter what you do. They're gonna turn it into content. Look at this tweet right here that I got highlighted.
But that's what I'm saying. They're always going to try to perpetuate, like, even if it's not a console war tweet or a console war thing, they'll try to spin it as that, and for most people,
that's how they're going to create the content. Look, this dude said literally a day ago, he posted a picture of my video saying 5 of the biggest mistakes this generation or PlayStation made this generation, right? Opinion. And he posted the picture of putting games on PC. How is that console war? You know what I mean?
But that's my point. You know, like this like, I'm looking at the stream while we talk right now, and the logic of this doesn't, even this tweet in itself doesn't make sense to me, because, you know, if you're this fanboy, this rabid fanboy that people tend to proclaim you as, Bari, you wouldn't be making a video about the 5 biggest mistakes for PlayStation this generation. You would be saying the 5, you know, why PlayStation is great. Like, everything is great. You wouldn't be critiquing it at all, right? So the fact that something like this that is blatantly not, like, clearly it's not a fanboy thing, that they're trying to spin it as that, just goes back to my point of constantly having to perpetuate that. And again, you know, this also goes back to, you know, during our Whoops days and all this other stuff. But, you know, there's a lot of people who've never seen your content, my content, Whoops content, who have this preconceived notion of who you are as a person, who you might be as a gamer, or what your views or values are, which and it could be the furthest thing from the truth.
You queued it up just right. Let me try to block this picture real quick. Even though I know I'm late, I'm blocking it. But look at this tweet right here. This is about Whoops. Look at this tweet right here, bro. This dude says, dude had a whole podcast of 200 episodes console warring is the one who speaks out against console warring. Laugh out loud. What 200 episodes, Persona?
But that,
So,
but again, like, that goes back.
This is what they think. They
content.
thought that What's a PlayStation podcast, the console war podcast. Yo, you remember when we asked in the space? It was like, yo, why wouldn't you tune into like What's Up PlayStation? I forgot who said it, and it was like, oh, because the title of the podcast is have PlayStation in it, so I automatically assume it's a fanboy podcast. Or I was like, what?
It doesn't make that doesn't make any sense. You know, like, yeah, everyone has everyone has a preference, but two, it goes back to what I was saying. There's a lot of people, and this is just in general, right, who don't really know the people they don't know the people that they're being told to are who they are. So they're just going to take what's being said at face value and not necessarily do their own research, or, you know, try to see if what somebody that is saying something, or if their favorite YouTuber is saying something or whatever, if it's true. You know, the lie is always more entertaining than the truth. It's always been that way. It's been that way for eons. You understand? So I think when it comes to just how things are on the internet, it has just had these types of things grow and just become so massive, to the point where it doesn't matter if the truth is in front of you, they'll still believe the lie because the lie validates how they have been told to feel about you for so long that they don't even want to accept the truth, even though it's right in front of them.
Agree, 100%. The lie is always more entertaining than the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what you say. We're going to make believe what you're saying, and we're going to, you know, be entertained from it.
And it's funny too, because even the show, right? I can guarantee you this show will be clipped up and it will be spun to be a negative, or spun to be that you are a console warrior, and how, you know, your podcast is dead, and how you make tweets about this and that, and all these different things. I mean, this show, I can guarantee you, will be spun into that, even though that's not the case.
Hey, yo, me personally, I don't go for if you gonna clip my shit up, make sure you put the link in there. You know what I mean? Put the link in there, or I'll kick you in your goddamn shin. Okay. That's what I want. Put my link up in there. But yo, oh yeah, let me show you this, bro. Shout out to P-Rock, bro. This is what I wanted to see real quick, yo. These are the same people talking about console war. Shout out to Cole Eastwood. I ain't really got no issue with Cole Eastwood. I think Cole Eastwood, good content creator for what he, you know, caters to. It is what it is. But these are this is the energy that these people is on. Remember when Blade got announced? Blade is the Xbox exclusive sucker, just buy Xbox. Same thing with Hellblade, the same thing with a whole bunch of these games. Now all of a sudden they're like, oh, the console war is over. Yo, you all perpetuated those things. You all hyped those things up. You all added fuel to the fire to all those things. And then now you see what Xbox is doing. Now it's like, hey, even though they're saying console war is over, they still console warring. You know, I see these tweets all the time like, yo, I thought the console war was over, man. You ain't done with it yet. But the whole point of this tweet right here is not to say, oh, I'm done with console wars, or I think the console war should be over. It's pointing out that the people that are saying the console war is over, they're the ones doing the most console war shit. That's what this whole point of, you would think, you know, people can clearly understand what I'm saying here, but you know, this is the day and age that we live in.
The lie is more entertaining than the truth, Barry.
He said a lot of PlayStation guys do console wars though, and take unnecessary shots at Xbox people. Just group everything together. Yo, really, I don't know what you mean by PlayStation guys. Are these people on Twitter? I don't call that content, bro. You know what I mean? If you out here on Twitter and you're just like clipping up somebody or editing somebody's shit, and oh, this what this person said. He said something dumb, something. That is console wars, but I'm talking about more like content creator that like, you're saying that you're done with console wars, but you're on podcasts about console wars. your topics is console war centric. You will say in your sentence, this is not console wars, but then say something console wars. You know what I mean? That's what I'm kind of pointing out to. Like Twitter is a cesspool of like people regard, just saying whatever they're saying. Some of the things that people will say on Twitter is like, they have a strong opinion about that. I don't really necessarily see that as a console war. That's just somebody, they don't like Xbox, or they don't like PlayStation, or they don't like this game. They like this game. That's not console war. Not everything is console war.
Yeah, but I think also there's important for people, I think, to also remain open-minded and be able to discern from something that someone being objective versus subjective, right? Because typically what you will see on social media is when somebody is being critical of either PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, PC, whatever the platform is, if somebody really values that platform or has such an allegiance to the platform and they hear that, if it's a negative, they'll automatically try to dismiss it as, oh yeah, you're just a fanboy or you're console warring, right? So you typically see that as well, right? I think people need to be able to understand and be able to discern between what is true console war versus what's constructive criticism, right? And I'll use WUPS for an example. If me and Barry are telling you that PlayStation is messing up because they're not doing this and not doing that, or Barry creates a video about the 5 biggest mistakes of PlayStation, how is that console war or fanboy anything, right? If anything, that's not console war, that's constructive criticism. Or even if you're speaking
or just my opinion.
Yeah, that's your opinion. Or even if you are speaking on Xbox and you're saying, well, Xbox needs to be better at this or better at that. If it's something that's a constructive criticism, I don't necessarily see that as console warring. Now, where you tend to see the console war is what you see on social media or in some of these videos on a daily basis of people who are trying to perpetuate the console war or keep the console war going for their own financial benefit, but not really adding any type of value or substance to the conversation, or not really trying to add any value or substance to content creation. Like, I don't really see the value in what a lot of salt content creators do. Like, I see no value in that from any side. I don't care if you're Xbox, PlayStation, like I don't care what allegiance you may have. I see no value in that, in the sense of you don't really add any value to gaming. You don't add any value to game content creation. You don't, because you're not adding your own opinion to it. You're not really adding any type of spice or flavor. And really, oftentimes, the thing that's being critiqued, it's being overblown or oversold into something that it's not, or spun into something that it's not.
Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, Persona, I'm not against console warring as long as it's keeping it gaming. You know what I mean? I'm against the stuff that people take it outside of gaming. Majority of the stuff that I'm seeing, like people would think that I'm against console wars, or they'll say like, oh, you trying to pretend like you don't console war? No, I do. I make my jokes here and there, you know what I mean? When it comes to whatever platform that I want to make a joke about. But I'm talking about the platform, the console, not the person.
But you're also playing. But the thing is, the difference is you're also. This is why I think it's important to have context, right? Because you may partake in cracking jokes. I used to as well. I did. I still will at time to time or whatever, or crack a joke here and there. But the difference is you're playing the games. You're verifiable. You actually are playing games on multiple platforms, Like, you actually are playing the games. Oftentimes with a lot of these people, they either aren't playing no games or play a specific type of game, or even if they do own all the platforms, they're not necessarily taking advantage of having all of these platforms, or they have all those platforms to be able to bring further validation to their own agenda of being able to critique something without necessarily having to explain, because they're like, oh, well, I own all the platforms, so I'm free to say whatever I want, which, it's true, but is it still valid, right? Is it still something that adds value to the conversation or adds value to whatever's being spoken about? You feel me? And this goes back to like, I hate to bring up the ABK thing, but if we're going to talk console wars or hypocrisy, we have to use the ABK deal, right? I think the Activision Blizzard deal or acquisition really highlighted a serious problem within games media, not only games media, but I think within the gaming space where you have a lot of people who have agendas, but are trying to pass themselves off as this self-righteous person who really cares about developers or the industry or whatever, when really that's not the case, right? and a lot of what they do is console wars, but because of the type of position they may hold or the level of reach they have, you have a lot of people who are afraid to speak out against those type of people out of fear of either being blacklisted, gatekeeping, or they also align with those views because they're getting kickbacks. Listen, it's a business, right? The console war is a business, regardless of how you try to spin. It's immature, it's this and that. It is a business because it pays the bills for a lot of people, which is why you have so many people who partake in it, but then try to distance themselves. They partake in it on a daily basis, either in content creation or social media. And console war doesn't always look. It's not always in your face, like, oh, Xbox sucks, PlayStation sucks. That's not always what console warring looks like. Console warring can also look like a bias of somebody that has an alliance to a specific platform or brand, but won't outright say they have that alliance to that brand while still trying to pass themselves off as being somebody that is a man of the people, right? Like, I'm for every gamer, but everything they do is aligned to one specific brand. That's also console warring. It's just more subtle, and it's not as in your face.
Yeah, it's more undercover console warring. You know what I mean? Like, they're very subtle with it. It's this passive aggressiveness that you see. That's one thing I would notice about like Xbox and PC people that do the console war shit compared to PlayStation people. The PlayStation people is more raunchy. They're more in your face. They're gonna let you know this sucks, this blah blah blah. The Xbox people, they have like a certain saying or a way how the way how they say is not as aggressive or raunchy. It's more like, I love gaming, but yeah, PlayStation single player stuff, it's nothing innovative about it. It's just trash. It's hot garbage. I'm like, yo, but they say they love gaming and they want gaming for everyone. What I mean? It's just weird shit that they would do. But yeah, I agree. It's very subtle what they console warring. But the smart people will catch on to it. Like, yeah, you are a console warring, motherfucker. We see it.
Yeah, and listen, it's not always the faceless. I think people need to understand that. For those who still partake, it's not always the faceless people who's doing the console war. Oftentimes, it's the ones who have a face that are doing the most console wars, but you refuse to see it as such.
My thing is, like, if you detest something, are you truly, like, if you detest something, are you going to keep on talking about it or keep on engaging or keep on being in that environment where what you detest?
No.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I don't think so. If you truly detest something like that, no.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, yo, it's weird to me that I see all of this stuff all the time. That's the reason why I made the tweet. Like, I'm seeing this like weeks upon weeks upon weeks. Everybody's hating or console wars over. All right, that's your opinion. That's cool. Whatever. But then why you keep on in that environment? You know what I'm saying? You're not separating yourself from that environment. You're adding yourself into it. That's weird to me.
Yep.
Yo, how do you feel about now seeing this new push of trophies and achievements?
What you mean? I mean? I've been out the loop, so you got to fill me in.
So now we're seeing a lot of people talk about, like, hey, you should be showing your trophies and achievements. You shouldn't be hiding that stuff. Well, I remember, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when we was pushing that stuff, a lot of people was calling that doxing. A lot of people was against what we were saying. A lot of people say, hey, just mind your business and let people play. Now that we have hidden our trophies, you know what I mean? Because people didn't care, right? You didn't care about that. Regardless of my trophy was shown or not, you didn't care about my opinion, or my opinion wasn't valuable to you. Even though I put all these hours in platinum this game, you didn't care. Now I'm seeing this big push of people, saying that you should be showing your trophies. showing your achievements. Now they asking, did you beat a game? Yo, I'm over here sitting back like, man, yo, we really in the Twilight Zone, bruh. We are really in the Twilight Zone, man. Because I remember these things vividly, where people were against it. They were telling you, mind your business. You doxing me. Why you want my information? Motherfuckers out here
trying to gatekeep gaming, or that you don't need to play or beat a game and speak on it and all this other craziness.
Yeah, bro. Yo, people's out here showcasing and posting their wives, their kids, you know, the personal stuff. And as soon as you ask, hey man, what's your PSN? What's your gamer tag? Hey, that's personal information. I'm like, what, bro?
Yeah, I find it well fun. Well, one, I will say the saying, you know, shout out to you, live to inspire, comes to mind when I see this stuff. Live to inspire for sure. Second, I would say it's funny how like history always repeats itself, right? What's the saying? You know, if you don't know history, you're always doomed to repeat it. And I think that's what this is happening. Like, I think this is a full circle moment where all those people who are saying you don't need to play a game to completion. You don't need to beat games to speak on games. You don't need to beat games to have an opinion. You don't need to show trophies. Platinums don't matter. Trophies don't matter. Those are useless, and this and that and all these other different things that not just, you know, just the everyday gamer, some of the everyday people were saying in the community, but you had like big mouthpieces, like, you know, you had media people and people that have a lot of visibility also pushing that type of narrative or rhetoric for quite some time, right? But now I think what you're seeing, if this is something that is starting to happen, I think a big part of what you're seeing is a bit of a reset where, you know, some people may be hearing the opinions of some of their favorite content creators, or hearing the opinions of people within the community online, and they're saying, well, I played this game and that doesn't necessarily, you don't make any sense here, or, you know, that's wrong, or that's incorrect, or like, you know, the thought process just doesn't make sense. I just think you might be seeing people that just getting tired of being fed the same talking points and really not having any substance when it comes to video game conversations, right? There's a difference between the console war, where, you know, you argue about the business of gaming, you argue about why the frames on this game is better than this or whatever, as opposed to actually being able to have video game discussions. I do think the two are completely separate, and I do think that there are levels to who can have those type of conversations successfully for both sides, right? The console war, and I think for video games, right? Because for a game like Wu-Chan, right? You know, Bar, you can speak in depth about Wu-Chan because you platinum the game, you put a lot of time into it, you've beat those bosses, you've played that game. So if you come to somebody else who has also played that game and have put some time into it, you both can have a very in-depth conversation, even if you both may disagree on certain or even all things when it comes to the game. If you both have played it to completion, the conversation is going to, one, be more natural, two, have more substance, and three, be something where you both may be able to walk away from the conversation amicably because you both have an understanding of the game it is that you're playing, even if it is from two different perspectives.
Yeah, like Colin made this tweet the other day, and shout out to Lobo, he tagged me in it. He's like, when someone constantly posts about video games but hide their trophies and achievements, you know, the little look. So I was like, this is a low blow, Colin. And I post a little fake achievement joint. Yeah, it's funny as hell. This picture, people think this is my PSN. Look, it's bookmarked.
Let me see.
It got 2 bookmarks, bro. I know somebody about to make a video like, yo, look, Jaybari doesn't play no games. 49. Well, no, like, yo, really, truly, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I was all for this tweet, but people dismissed the whole trophy talk and achievement talk. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, I don't care about platinums. I don't care about this and that. I don't care about. It was never about the platinums.
You don't have to get platinums to be a gamer and all this other stuff.
Yeah, it was never about the whole platinums, but beating the game and showing that you beat the game. But the fact that people was dismissing that conversation and didn't care about it, that's why I went and go hit my achievement, my trophies. Like, all right, if you don't care about it, why I need to showcase what I'm doing?
All right,
Yeah,
go back 3 years ago. Go back to the height of the space era. You know, shout out to Optimus Code, man, right? Go back to the height of the spaces era. And for those who were on Twitter at the height of spaces, when spaces were actually like where everybody was doing spaces all day. It was crazy. Like space era was popping. It was popping at a time for like maybe like 1 or 2 years. But during that time, that's when you really got to see who was a gamer and who was not, and who really have those types of conversations. And this is when I birthed the term, are you verifiable? Because what we started to see during the height of the spaces era was that you had people coming into gaming, coming into these conversations, coming into the spaces that did not have the mental capacity to excuse me, let me rephrase that. Not the mental capacity. They were not knowledgeable about, yeah, they were not knowledgeable enough to have the conversation that was being had about gaming. And this was happening all over, running rampant. So it became a thing where it's like, yo, all right, you beat the game, prove it, show it.
Yo, and they said we was bullying people like, nah, you came into a gaming space about a game that you ain't even like beat or even get to a certain level, but wanted to take over the conversation about the game. You know what I mean? And all we're saying is like, yo, if you want to be a part of this discussion, it takes to play the game to be a part of gaming discussions. That's what we was trying to bring to the forefront. Everybody was thinking, yeah, you know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh, this and that. We don't care about this. You don't care. You don't care about that. Now I was like, all right, you didn't care about it. Let me hide it. Now
you don't care. Why should I?
Exactly. Yo, now that it's hidden, yo, so many people be asking, like, I don't have an issue showing my my trophies or whatnot, but at the end of the day, I want
my trophies. That's my personal information. You don't need to see shit.
Yeah, I want you to ask, or I want you to assume that I don't play no game, so you can look dumb.
Oh yeah, I want dudes to assume that your boy don't game. That's why, like, whenever I start a stream, I'm always on that welcome screen showing the trophies.
That's the best thing that welcome screen got.
Oh yeah, bro. Yo, facts. Yo, I was like, listen, I don't play games. Okay, sure. Show yours.
Don't play no games.
Yeah, I think trophies, you know, it's funny to see it coming back. But again, for those who don't know history, are always doomed to repeat it. And I think this is just one of those situations where, you know, people are starting to realize, like, yeah, I think people need to actually show that they're beating some of these games, because shit you're saying is starting to sound kind of stupid. So, you know, good on the gamers and good on the community for finally coming to terms with what Bari and myself have been saying for years.
Exactly.
And the funny thing is, this ain't nothing new either, Bari. Remember back during the Papers, Please days, back during the Facebook days.
Let's go back to Facebook days.
Yeah, this ain't nothing new. Like, trust and believe. People were always being questioned about if they were playing or completing games before they even were able to be allowed into the conversation. That was always the case. This ain't nothing new. It's new for y'all because, you know, Twitter.
Y'all knew.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all knew. Like, this ain't new for anybody. Trust me. This ain't new.
You're craziness, man. Oh, let me show this other tweet that I put out here, man. Do you consider this console wars Persona?
Oh, I gotta see a tweet come up.
I want you to be honest too. I want you to be honest before I show everything. I want you to be honest, Persona.
I'm gonna be honest, brother.
So Ninja Theory put out this tweet saying one of the best reasons to own a pro PlayStation lifestyle. So, you know, they put out the accolades for, you know, Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga. So I put out a tweet saying every gamer and developer loves the PlayStation 5 Pro with a smiley face. Yo, Persona. They got upset, bro.
I can see 5 bookmarks. Yeah, they definitely got upset at you, bro.
they got upset, bro. Like this little nice little console war in here. Like, yeah, the Pro is fire. You should be having a Pro. I don't even like this game, but I'm not saying that the technical achievements of the game is not to be praised. I feel like they took a step back in this game as far as the gameplay and everything else, but
see, but this one is see, this is a funny one, Bari, right? Because I feel like this is just a lighthearted joke, but also I do think you really do love the Pro. Like, you know, you enjoy the Pro, and obviously there's a lot of developers and gamers who are also enjoying the Pro, because we've seen this influx of people, especially before with the whole tariffs thing and the price might go up with the Pro. You've seen all these people suddenly who were against the Pro buying the Pro. So clearly your statement is accurate in terms of that. And then the second thing, when it comes to developers, you have a developer telling you So it's not even like you're just saying this without any type of substance or anything to back your claim. You literally are quote tweeting a developer saying this, and it's from a developer tweeting this out from media saying this. So I don't really see it as console. I can see it being something that is like a little joke, the ha ha moment. But I mean, listen, it would be different if you were saying, you know, don't buy Hellblade 2 because they didn't release it day one on PlayStation, despite the first game releasing day one on PlayStation. Like, that's some console war shit. Like, oh, it's owned by, you know, Ninja Theory is owned by Microsoft now. So like, you know, don't buy the game. Like, don't support Ninja Theory. Don't support Hellblade. That's console war. That's console war extremist like behavior.
Console war to me would be developers, gamers like the Pro, but they hate the Xbox.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Trying
like
to pit one against the other.
Yeah,
I'm
doing a comparison.
Exactly.
But here I'm just highlighting pretty much, like, don't get it twisted. This is like a little joke, a little jab and whatnot. But you know,
but
I'm
it's
just
lighthearted.
highlighting the
Like,
fact
it's
that
not meant to. I don't see it as something where like it's detrimental or like, oh yeah, you're toxic to the community. How some people may try to spin it out to be. It's jokes. Like
look at this guy right here. He said on a game you didn't like yourself, Jay, pick your little arguments. Days are very outnumbered. I don't know. All these Xbox dudes, they look the same.
Days are very outnumbered. What?
Listen, bro. You know, I mean, back in my younger days, I took that as a threat. But it is.
Yeah, I think he's trying to say your days are numbered.
Yeah.
As in, like, yo, that's that. But that goes back to like, yo, hold up, man. The New Yorker in me is starting to come out where it's like, bro, that's definitely a threat. That last part is definitely a threat for sure. Second of all, it's crazy how like people can
he
like
meant
really
that too. He put all the periods. He meant that.
It's
shit.
crazy how like people could be like say some of the most craziest, outlandish things to you, and like people don't see that as the problem, but they'll see you saying you love PlayStation more than Xbox or whatever as the problem. Like, I've had dudes, you know, say in my tweets, you know, I should be dead. I remember one dude said he was going, a bullet would kill, you know, you sound tough, but a bullet can kill everybody. Or some crazy he said to me. I was like, bro, what? Dude's calling me a cocksucker and a cuck and all this crazy stuff, bro. And in my mind, I'm like, there's no way you would never talk to anybody, not just me. You wouldn't talk to anybody like this in real life. I know that for a fact. Like, I know that for a fact. Like, trust me. Second of all, not over video games, man.
The craziest thing I ever received from somebody, the Xbox dude, he said, "Stop talking about Xbox or you'll end up like this." Yo, the dude, he sent a picture of like some girl in a tub with like ice. It was like a whole bunch of ice, you know, the little.
What?
Yeah, and it was like bloody and all that shit. I was like, yo, what the hell? I blocked them automatically. I was like, this person weird as hell.
That's kind of crazy. That's some psycho shit.
Not PlayStation first party. Yeah, I would be mad if I was a first party reading this. Like, I don't understand. Like, what does this have to do with first party?
Nah, I think he's trying to say the fact that PlayStation Lifestyle is saying this is the reason to own a Pro and not a PlayStation first party game, I think is what he's trying to say.
Oh yeah. He said one of the best reasons to own a Pro.
Yeah, that is true.
That's not the only reason to own a Pro.
Reading comprehension is not all that.
Man says bias. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. It's just, look at this dude. He just put the bread.
You know what's so funny too? Like, this is always the funniest things whenever you tend to see people start to like come out of the woodwork to defend something or try to call you out. I always love asking, like, did you play the game? Like, because I can guarantee you a lot of the people that will probably come at you or critique you and call you a fanboy or whatever didn't play or beat Hellblade 1 or 2. Like,
I beat
yeah, like both games for me have been completed. You feel me? And that's always the funniest thing. Like, I remember when I was saying, remember when I was talking about Balatro and how I just didn't feel like Balatro didn't look like something that would be in like game of the year to me. I didn't say the game was bad. I just feel like other games deserve to be there over Balatro, in my opinion. Not saying the game is bad. I don't have no experience with the game. So like, I'm not even trying to speak on the game. I'm just saying from how I am, whatever. Some dude was in my comments defending the hell out of Balatro. and how I'm wrong and this and that and all this other shit, right? So I just asked a simple question. Did you beat Balatro? No, I've never played the game.
Nasty word.
Excuse me? Why are you here? Why are you here, sir? Crazy.
Yo, this dude said PlayStation 5 shield switching up on the game now. Where in this tweet is saying that I'm switching up on the game? Am I even talking about the game on this tweet? I'm clearly saying every gamer and developer loves the PlayStation 5 Pro. Where do you see me say it? Am I saying every gamer love Hellblade 2? Like, yo, it's beyond me with some of these responses sometimes, man.
Crazy.
But these other people will tell you that, you know, console wars is over, but you know, they would incite console wars within your tweets, or they would say that you're console warring, but they would do the most outlandish shit console warring. It's the wildest joint, bro. Look at this guy. This guy always be on my tweets. This dude right here, Gamer Style. He probably be on yours too, but you don't see it. Even though PlayStation gamers don't buy games, they end up crawling back to Xbox, begged to be saved. Yo, son, this shit wild, boy. Bro, you know, sometimes when you tweet, yo, you be like, you don't think like, all right, people will even like react to this or respond to this. This is a simple ass, like funny tweet. Like, yeah, people like the Pro. You know what I mean? There's nobody that I've known really to say like they play on the Pro and be like, oh, I don't like that junk. The console, it lives up to its name, bro. Like it does what it does. It's the best PlayStation, you know, experience, and it's the best console experience. You know, if you want to play these games at the best fidelity or frame rate.
The logic doesn't make sense though, because if PlayStation gamers don't buy games, then why would, you know what? I'm not even going. Never mind. Like that's another thing. I think I said this a long time ago. I think some of you y'all really need to get better at like one, console warring, 2, debating, and 3, trying to put out rage tweets. Like those tweets that kind of get a reaction out of people. A lot of you are terrible at that, and it's just so terrible how how you guys are. Like the craft of like console warring is definitely
trolling is not the same nowadays. There used to be like a creativity to the trolling. Like now these trolls does dumb shit. PlayStation fanboy proceeds to lie. It's like with Michael, you know what I'm saying? Like what?
Like there's no flair, there's no spice, no pizzazz. You know, there's still a few people out there that's still really good at it. You know, shout out to J-Dub. You know, J-Dub been doing that shit for years, so he the king of that shit. Like he definitely is. But like a lot of y'all that I be seeing trying to do that shit, I just be like, yo, if this was the Facebook days, you wouldn't be getting no likes or comments on your shit, because people would see that shit from a mile away, bro. They was like, oh yeah, this is definitely some troll shit.
Yo, crazy. Wolf, what up, man? Yeah, man, just, you know, early morning, you know, Jaybari show. My man Persona came through.
Yes, sir. Real quick, you know, an unofficial Jaybari show.
Yeah, like this wouldn't even be a WUP show, because these type of conversations we wouldn't be having.
Yeah, exactly. Like this wouldn't be no WUPs. Like the WUPs boys is back together in the Jaybari show, but this ain't no WUPs. Because we wouldn't be talking about this at all.
On a Saturday morning.
I remember the reason why I came through though, because I know Bari said he was going to do a show today, and that console war topic was definitely something I've been listening since he started. But I was like, oh, that console war topic, you know, definitely want to jump in on that.
Yeah, I just want people to stop lying to the people, man. You're out here lying to the people, falsifying these claims that you don't care about it, but majority of your conversations, your content, you know what I mean? I seen a clip going around too. I don't know if you know who Danny Pena. It was Danny Pena and Paris. There was a clip going around of them, and I seen it. I was like, oh, this is funny as hell. Like, well, yo, Paris and Danny are two people that say that they don't like no console warring. But look at this. Let me know if this is console warring or not. And I don't have no issues against these two. I just find it funny that you're so against, you know, these type of like, you know, actions from gamers, but you're doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
You know what would be funny? You know, it'd be really funny that Paris he applies to this job and gets a position.
Who said I
Are
didn't?
you playing a video?
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Oh,
Who said I didn't?
oh.
Yeah, look at Paris.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I thought about it. I did. I legit, because it's remote. It's obviously on the West Coast. Easy to go up to San Mateo. I thought about it. Honestly, look, keep it real.
Yeah.
I'd be really good at that.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really, Paris?
I wonder all those people that attack you, what would be the reaction? Like, Paris got this position.
They
PlayStation.
lose their minds, because you know what I would demand. I would demand, as part of them hiring me, is I would say, hey, every time there's an announcement for a new PlayStation game going to Xbox, I want to be the one to do it. Let me do it. Let me be the one to put it on PlayStation.
I'll stay to play.
Yes.
Yo, you see what I'm saying? Like, I get the jokes. It's funny. And I'm normally, I would have been laughing with it, but I get mixed signals when I'm like, when I see your tweets come on the timeline, it's more so console war is over. Why are people doing these jokes, and why are people doing that? But then you're doing this shit that you saying that why are people doing, or you're so against. That's the part that's mind boggling to me. You know what I mean? Like, if you are for it, just do it. If you're against it, you know, I don't understand. You're saying that you're against it, but you're advocate for it every single time, from what I'm seeing. But I saw this clip around. I was like, yo, this is funny as hell. But I thought these two were against you know, these type of content or these type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I had to mute so I could like look at the clip that you were showing on the stream. But yeah, I mean, listen, I feel like, you know, when it comes to that type of, obviously it's a joke, right? You know, so you look at it and take it as a joke. I took it as it's a joke, trying to be funny or whatever.
Yeah,
but I think
joke.
this goes back to what I was saying earlier, where, you know, you can't do that, but then turn around and say, you know, console wars or this, or, you know, gamers need to get back to the games, and it doesn't matter where you play, and, you know, all that self-righteous virtue signaling bullshit that, you know, Paris and Danny like to push often. I just personally feel like, you know, like that's where it looks hypocritical to me personally. It's just where, you know, you 1 minute you're self-righteous, and against that, next minute you're cracking jokes the same way a console warrior or somebody in console war would do.
That you
right?
detest.
And yeah, so like I just feel like, you know, if you're gonna have a stance, keep that same stance across the board. Either you're against it or you're for it. And listen, if you're for it, that doesn't make you a bad person, you know, because again, it's fun to partake in that with the crack jokes. Yes, it's fun to crack jokes. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, people
gotta understand.
See anything wrong with Paris's him saying that? It was a joke. It was meant to be as a joke, and that's what it is.
People gotta understand the console wars is not real, man. It's jokes, bruh. It is not real. It is not real. You think people out here, you think me or Persona really hate Xbox people? You know what I'm saying? It is not real. I don't hate nobody out here, man. I disagree with some of the stuff that they say. I might tackle an opinion, but I don't hate nobody. It's not real, bro.
No.
So yeah, like I can take it for the joke, what it is. But what I'm pointing out is that all I see is from the two peoples that they are against those type of actions, but they're doing it. Yeah. I'm all for the joke. I thought it was funny, but I was like, hey, it's kind of funny that I'm seeing this clip out here, but you know, I'm seeing other tweets. Most words are stupid, dumb. What you doing this shit? You know
that shit was fun. Listen, that joke was funny because it would be funny to see Paris of all people come out and do that. I'd be like, yo, that's funny as hell. Like, I do think that's hilarious. So like, I think the joke is valid. I think it's funny. You know, it's you know.
Oh yeah, and the internet would go crazy too.
Yeah, the internet would definitely go crazy on that for sure. But again, you can't be somebody who, one, is doing that, but then two, against or detest console wars, or detest the fanboyism, or detest having an allegiance to this and that, and all these different things that's been spoken about over the years. I just think it makes you look, you look hypocritical, you know. And I think this is a big reason why a lot of people do be on Paris's head, is because his stance has shifted so much throughout the years that, and I've told him this like already. So like, I'm not saying anything that he doesn't know about how I view him. I've tweeted this to him on numerous occasions. His stance on so many different things within gaming has shifted so much that it's hard to really get a understanding of how you truly feel, because it feels like how you truly feel is more so about going with the wind or going with what the majority may feel or what may be beneficial in the moment, and not necessarily how you feel, especially if it goes against the grain of Microsoft or whoever you're aligned to business wise in that moment. So I do think that it you know, that's why a lot of people are always on his head, and you know, I think he's done that to himself, honestly. You know, you've done it to yourself. And for Danny, I mean, you know, let me preface this by saying I really don't have any personal issues with neither one of these people. You know, like I don't, you know, like it is what it is with what they do. You know, I really don't have any personal issues, but you know, Danny as well. Like, you know, he comes off as, I'm against this, I'm against that. But again, here you are partaking. It just looks funny in the light, you know. Keep the same stance. Be who you are.
Or have a stance.
Or have
That's
a
the problem.
stance.
Everybody's just so.
Keep the same stance. That's all.
Yeah, everybody's so like, I just gotta flow like I'm pissing the wind. Like, gotta have a stance. People respect the stance.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Like look at us, you know, when we were saying what we were saying about PlayStation, how they need to do more showcases, they need to have more you know, give us more information about game, their first party lineup. They need to, you know, when they give us news, there needs to be more plentiful or more substance to it. People were very against us with that. You know, they were telling us we are ungrateful. We don't know what we're talking about. We don't this and that. When we were talking about the price increases or PS Plus not being as lucrative, or you know, just whatever we've talking about on WUPs, you know, there were people that were outright like, yo, Persona Bari, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all are this and that. People were calling us fanboys for disagreeing with PlayStation. It was crazy. But now look, those same people are now echoing the same sentiments of what we were talking about 2 to 3 years ago. You know, games going, and listen, I've accepted games going to PC. Like I don't even argue that shit no more. I just expect it at this point. But 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when those things were being talked about, I was vehemently against that, and people were telling me why. Like, you know, this benefits PlayStation. This benefits you, the gamer, because you get more games. Okay, I'm still waiting for that benefit to show up.
and even with the whole PC thing, we also said it doesn't just start or just end with PC. It's eventually going to grow into other things. That's why I kept telling people PlayStation is going multi-platform. That's a 3-year-old video, bro. You know what I'm saying? And everybody said,
I asked the same question because Jim Ryan's like, test for what? And if the test is successful, what's the next logical step? I keep asking that same question. I've asked that same question numerous times. And again, shout out to you, Bari, because with the Bungie deal, you pointed this out even more, where it's like, why is PlayStation buying a studio that's going to remain multi-plat? So you know, again, you get your flowers on that, because that was definitely a good call out.
Bro, they called it a multi-platform acquisition. Right when I saw that, that's when I was like, this is the scapegoat to like, oh yeah, but we always been putting games on like Xbox or whatnot. I called it. I was like, yo, watch, they're going to use this acquisition to start putting these games on multiple platforms. You know what I mean? My thing is like, okay,
Horizon. What's other shit?
Yeah,
like,
and yo, even with Lego Horizon, I pointed out again. I say, yo, they are a third-party developer, third-party publisher. And dudes was writing whole diaries. They were telling me that I'm wrong.
I got a feeling that game's coming to Xbox too. That Lego Horizon,
yeah, 100%. Because in the PlayStation fan now, it's experimental. It's live service. It doesn't.
Yo, let me say this to the PlayStation community. I ain't really been, you know, I only know bits and pieces, so my information might not be all at 100%. But I've been seeing some of this shit, especially now that I'm back on Twitter. You know, I'm looking from, you know, certain things. PlayStation community, I need y'all to tighten the fuck up. I need y'all to tighten the fuck up right now, because y'all out here looking crazy with these diatribes of this mind game bullshit of like, oh yeah, PlayStation isn't doing this.
It's not the same.
Nah, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same down to a T. And I need you guys to knock it the fuck off and really be honest with yourselves, because y'all starting to look foolish as
Yo,
hell out
Damien
here, man.
Cloud, what up, bro? What up, y'all?
Y'all are looking foolish as hell
Tone
out
is
here,
not.
man.
It's not the same. It's not the
That's
same.
bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I need the PlayStation community to knock it the fuck off with that shit. Y'all are moving real funky
Hey,
out
yo,
here, man.
they out here developing these games on
Looking
different
like idiots.
platforms and publishing them. They're gonna have the audacity to say it's not the same. I'm like, what?
It's literally the same. It's 1-to-1 the same. And I need y'all to accept that PlayStation is absolutely gonna be third party. And these games, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Spider-Man 1 and 2 come. Listen, at this point, anything is on the table. That's how I see it. Anything is on the table, and I think you PlayStation community dudes, I think y'all need to accept that. And I think y'all, and if you don't like it, be vocal. Don't try to coddle your fan base or try to coddle people into, oh no, guys, it's only game, or it's experimental, or it's just this and that. Because the funny thing is, a lot of you are doing the very same thing that you were making fun of Xbox dudes are doing when it was just the 4 games, or when it was this and that and all this other different stuff. And with the acquisition deal, oh yeah, everything's gonna be exclusive because Microsoft's $1 trillion company. Y'all are doing the same dumb shit that a lot of Xbox people were doing initially when it came to this stuff happening, and you look foolish. Stop it. And and 2, you look like hypocrites because you're doing the exact same things that you were making fun of them for doing.
It's not.
PlayStation is absolutely going to be third party. PlayStation is absolutely going to be putting more games on Xbox and other platforms. You need to accept it.
My thing, Persona. This is why I keep highlighting it, and I keep hammering this nail. It's like, yeah, I understand now what PlayStation is doing and where they're going. I've been telling for years what they're doing. My thing now is like, okay, you've been doing this for years now. Where are the benefits? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's all good and dandy marketing saying, oh, it's more games for people to play, more money for the company. What is that reflecting on the PlayStation console itself? Everything that they're doing outside of the PlayStation console is not coming back to the PlayStation console. It's going back to putting more games on other platforms or TV shows or movies. You know what I mean? PlayStation productions. That's where their money is going. You know what I mean? What we see, I criticize PlayStation Plus being better, making it better. You know what I mean? The offerings need to be better. More features, whatever they got to do. This month we got one of the best months I ever seen for PlayStation. This is the catalog though, extra and premium. But still, they need a lot of work. Stars is gone. You know what I mean? Game prices is up. Console prices is up. Plus went up, I think twice this generation.
Twice, yeah, it went up twice this gen. The console prices is going up. Games is going up in price. Because I guarantee that $80 shit gonna hit PlayStation 2. Like I already said, that PlayStation's not absolved of that either. But the thing is, when you look at it from the perspective of what the PlayStation gamer gets versus what everybody else is getting, and I'll just use PC for an example. And funny enough, I'm looking at Marvel Tokon and Bari. We talked about this. Marvel Tokon is coming out. They
don't believe me.
Marvel Tokon is coming out simultaneously for PlayStation and PC. From a perspective of a PlayStation gamer, you are getting the shorter end of the stick because you still have to pay for Plus in order to play online, which is an issue. So if you're somebody that owns both PC and PlayStation, it may make more sense to buy the game on PC because you don't have to pay to play online.
If you have a PC,
right? If you have a PC, if you have a PC, if you don't have a rig and you got a PlayStation, then obviously it makes sense from that perspective. But what I'm saying is that when you look at the benefit line by line, you realize that the PlayStation gamer is getting the shorter end of the stick for a lot of things that's happening with PlayStation, right? Another example would be The Last of Us. I hate to bring up The Last of Us, but I'm gonna bring this up. Those updates that came to The Last of Us with intergalactic jacket and all that stuff. Why did we have to wait for a PC release to get that? That should have been something you should have did off rip.
They called us crazy when we brought it up.
Yeah, I'm just like, why am I waiting for you to release something on a PC platform to get a benefit on PlayStation? PlayStation should still be the priority or be receiving those benefits. And then, okay, now it's releasing on PC. Let's put it on PC now. And, you kind of get an But no, they're doing things simultaneously and making the PlayStation gamer wait, despite the PlayStation gamer buying into the games and into the platform, and two,
And fully
fully funding these projects and these games. Like a lot of things that PlayStation is able to do now is because of the PlayStation gamer
console side
and not everybody else. But the console side of things is also paying more money and receiving less benefits, and still being told we're cooking your weight when it comes to wanting a showcase or wanting to see these games. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, like if that's how you moving, okay, PlayStation, that's fine. That's what you see as beneficial or lucrative in the moment. For me, I'm good. You feel me? Marvel Tokon, that most bought on me.
Yo, Damien, man, I appreciate it, man.
I'm good.
Joining Social First Class. Like I said, y'all, I didn't expect y'all to join this shit because I didn't announce it, but I will have a separate video announcing it, and let y'all know what the plan is for it. You know what I mean? But
yo, that's a good point, Aaron. No adverse reaction. Yo, yo, listen, Bari, talk to them, bro. When Jim Ryan said that, what did I say? What did you say? No adverse reaction from who? Where are you seeing this?
Who are you listening to?
Yeah, like exactly. Who are you listening to,
bro? They have a whole studio that is not making games for the console.
Yeah.
Which PlayStation gamer is gonna be like, yo, that's great. We're benefiting if you play on the console. You know
that's what I'm saying. You have to, in this day and time, you have to move accordingly. And if PlayStation is moving that route, you got to look at the landscape and be like, is this something that I'm willing to accept, or do I want to move on to greener pastures? That's kind of where this whole, and this really is on all sides. Like I don't, we're talking about PlayStation in the moment, but it really is on all sides where you really have to look at it and determine if remaining put makes more sense than going on to greener pastures. If you see something that might be more beneficial for you financially or in the moment of what you're looking for gaming wise. But I for PlayStation, somebody that is invested into PlayStation over the years, over the decades, PlayStation has been around 30 plus years, to see the PlayStation gamer kind of be treated as like almost like second class at this point is it sucks to see, and some people might not see it that way, because for a lot of people they'll say, oh, well, I'm still getting care, and I'm like, that's fine, but we're not getting as many games, we're not getting as much news about these games, we're not getting, we're seeing all these financial records being broken every quarter, but then studios are shut down, games are canceled. Like we've seen more games canceled this generation, and fired, and we've seen more games canceled from PlayStation this generation than I have any generation with PlayStation. Like a lot of games have been canceled, which is very disturbing to me as somebody who wants to see some of these games, play these games. And listen, I'm gonna bring it back to what I always bring it back to: factions.
Factions.
Where's factions, man? You feel me? Where is factions?
Yeah, my biggest thing too is like we're seeing it live, bro, where people have certain discrepancies or criticisms when it comes to the PlayStation platform, but won't speak up against it. And now the same games are going over to another platform, and regardless of how small the issue is or whatever it is, PC Gamer said, yo, I don't want to sign up for no PSN. Quick listen. You know what I mean? And then PlayStation is trying their hardest, their darndest, to be like, hey, let's incentivize you even signing up for a free account by giving you these trinkets and games and doing that. The fact that they would do those things, and I know a lot of people might look at this like it's a small thing, but the fact that they would do that for a platform that is just so minuscule as far as revenue and profits, that they wouldn't even do something like that or bat an eye for the platform that they make all this money for. It's crazy to me. This is why I just want people like, yeah, you might not agree or disagree. You might not agree with things I'm saying, but I know there's certain things that people don't like that PlayStation is doing this generation, but they won't speak up. But the fact that if you speak up, you are being listened to, you are being heard. But everybody's so coy, everybody's so timid, everybody's so nonchalant as far as like,
well, you know what it is? You know what it is, Bari? And I have to bring this back to like games media and the game industry, because I think this is the fault of, and it kind of, I'm not going to say that it hasn't been like this since gaming's inception, right? But I do think it has now become to a point to where it's actually a detriment to, one, the success of video games, one, two, the health of the industry, and three, the integrity of just games media, or just the gamer in general, right? You know, we have it where, like, if you speak too negatively about develop whatever, you run the risk of being blacklisted either from that game studio, from future projects, or from the industry as a whole. And for a lot of people whose bread and butter might be content creation, or, you know, they love getting free shit, or whatever the case may be, I think oftentimes people are more willing to overlook things that they might be more critical about if it was something they paid out of pocket, as opposed to being received for free. That you have a lot of that happening right now within the industry, within games media and things of that nature, where you got a lot of people who have relationships, are afraid, or just choose not to be as critical or as honest and upfront as they would like to be, out of fear of losing those partnerships with free shit that they get. And so when you run a business, or when you have things happening like that gaming, you tend to get what we're getting now, where things that their everyday gamer is not seeing as beneficial to them, to their pockets, or to the betterment of the platform that they've invested into. You've got people who are in the rooms who are receiving free shit, who are receiving kickbacks, perks, and other different things, that are saying something else because they're getting all the benefits from that. And that's what's happening. And it's turned the game industry lopsided, because
they're trying to snuff out the
Yes.
conversation that, you know, we want places to hear these things, but you're trying to snuff it out because it goes against, you know, the shit that you get.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, man, craziness. You know, we can go about this, talking about this all goddamn day. At the end of the day, I love the PlayStation brand. I think PlayStation 5 is great. Love the games that is coming out. You know what I mean? Just in a couple of weeks or a couple of days, we got Metal Gear, Lost Soul Aside, Shinobi, Gears, all coming out on the PlayStation. So, very, very happy about that. I'm not buying Gears though. I'm good on that, but very, very happy about that, man. But at the end of the day, gotta do better. I don't want to keep hearing and seeing profits and revenue, and I look at the platform and I'm seeing less and less and less and less and less. Now, maybe a lot of people don't agree with me. It is what it is, but at the end of the day, I'm always gonna say my opinions about it. But yo, Persona, man, I'm about to close this thing up. I am starving, like Marvin. I need to eat. But yo, man, you was streaming Battlefield 6 yesterday, man.
Yeah.
It
was cool.
It looks like you look like you're liking it. Yo, Iman, what up, man? Yo, Brian East, what up?
I maybe it's because, like, I've just been yearning for, like, a new, like, Call of Duty like experience, and I just feel like this Battlefield is doing it for me so far. Like, I like it a lot. I think it's a fun game. I enjoy it for what it is. I don't think it's perfect, but yeah, the fact that I can play it and not really get pissed off and like, all right, I'm cutting this shit off, is a good sign. You know, for me personally, I like it. Am I going to pick this up? I'm not sure yet if I'm going to pick this up or not, but I'm definitely going to play it today. If you're trying to jump on and play for a little bit after you eat or whatever, we could run some matches, but I like it for what it is.
Yeah, I think it's a cool game. It's Call of Duty Light, man, with roles. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Like, I do feel like the movement is a little bit snappier. In my opinion, there's certain things that I don't like, especially like this vaulting animation that happens. When you was complaining about it, I wasn't even noticing it. But when I heard it, and then it started happening, I was like, oh, this is what he told me. Like, yo, it just do this auto vault. I didn't want to do that. I'm just wanting to stay here and shoot up this place. I don't like that at all. And I don't like the footsteps, man. The footsteps are annoying as hell. Like, I don't understand why when it comes to these first person shooters, they go through this issue every beta, every launch, where footsteps on teammates is just super loud and just muffles everything around. If an enemy's around you, you're hearing all of this confusion of your teammates enemy teammate footsteps is just, it's crazy. Like I'm not saying take away teammate footsteps, but lower that volume. You don't got to be so high. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting too old, man. But it is what it is. And the hit detection, I think, needs work. I like a little more.
Hit detection needs work for sure.
That's why I like Treyarch games, because Treyarch, when you hit somebody, you feel like that oomph, like you feel it. You know what I mean? There's something about it that gets to me. I'm hitting this person. But this game, it feels a little bit light with the hit detection. But I think it's a dope game. I think it's pretty fun. But I'm not getting it. I'm not getting anything. You know what I mean? And part of one of the reasons why I wasn't getting it because of Crimson Desert too, man. That shit got delayed, yo. Tight, man. But anyway, Persona, man. Close it out. Get up out of here, man.
Oh nah, yo, listen, this is a great show, man. Shout out to you, bro. I definitely enjoyed this, listening to the whole show, and I appreciate you having me. Segment of your show, man. Shout out to the Jaybari show. Shout out to the people in the chat. Make sure you support Jaybari. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Make sure you guys also, become a member. I'm glad he's got the memberships going again. Can't wait to see how that manifests. And road to 5,000, man. You have 4,300, which is good. Get that road to 5,000 is gonna be fun, bro. So can't wait. I'm glad to be along for the ride, and glad to see your growth and success.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to do more like video or like not saying I'm not going to do live streams because I am going to continue to do the Jaybari show, but I kind of like doing the whole video, like a how-to tutorial or just like a walkthrough or a playthrough. I enjoy that stuff a lot. So yeah, I have a lot of that stuff queued up, but I'm gonna stagger a little bit more, because typically when I get into that mode where I just doing content, I got the time to do content, I just upload, but I'm gonna wait it out and just stagger those releases a little bit more. Also, Demon Slayer, I know I was supposed to stream it last week. I will be streaming it this weekend, most likely probably tomorrow, like in the afternoon, because yeah, we're gonna be doing the tournament next weekend. I just couldn't do it the last weekend. Something came up, personal stuff came up, had to handle that, and I couldn't get to do it. But that tournament is still gonna go live, and we'll be promoting that much more following when I do the stream, and stream the game more, because I haven't even played like rank like that, because I'm like, what, I want to save it to do a stream for it, and that's why I'll probably do tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. We play that, probably do it for like 2-3 hours. If anybody want to play after that, we can play it after that as well. But yeah, that is still coming, but just have to handle some stuff. All right. But yeah, man, about to get up out of here. Hopefully I enjoyed the show. Hopefully you didn't get overly sensitive. Make sure if you clip up my content, if you clip up what I'm saying, I'll put my link in the description before I JTech you. Yeah, you see this dude? Yeah, my man, JTech don't play around, boy. That boy out here flagging up people, man.
He flagging people content?
From what I'm seeing, like how people like they make videos about people and they call them clowns and they this and that because they have a difference of opinion. From what I'm seeing, he's copyright striking, which is kind of crazy in my opinion. And people are like counterclaiming, because there's a difference between like a copyright and a copyright strike. A copyright strike can end your channel. You know what I mean? So you get a copyright strike, I don't think you can stream or upload. I don't know if you can upload videos or whatnot, but I know they limit you, and you got like a 3 months like probation kind of thing. And if you get another strike, that can terminate your channel. But a copyright, you're just sharing the revenue with somebody. So it's typically like, let's say you stream a game or you stream like a we do like a live reaction to like say Summer Game Fest or Gamescom, and there's like content from music videos or music in general, and that person's like, hey, you did something with my stuff in there, you're going to share the revenue off of that. That's something completely different. That doesn't harm your channel. You're just sharing the revenue, or you can't monetize that video. But a strike, yeah, yeah, that ain't no joke, man. But yeah, we gotta be a little bit more chill on that. I get it. It's annoying that, you know, people out here can, you know, twist your words, or they can, you know, make content about you that it's like, damn, like that's how you feel. Like that's because I have a difference of opinions or a preference. Well, yeah, I think a strike is a little bit too much overboard. Unless that person is not like really making transformative content, they just re-uploading your shit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can't be doing that. That's not a good look. It's kind of crazy.
Don't get it twisted. There's many times where I want to copyright strike a lot of these motherfuckers, but I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that because I think that's a little bit overboard. Like at the end of the day, it is public content. People are going to have whatever they say about you. It's easy to
consider fair use. I think if they
yeah, and it's easy to disprove a lot of these people's talking points because they don't really have no substance behind it. They just make these stuff because they just hate you. You know what I mean? And when they hate you, they ain't got no like real backing or real sense behind what they're saying. They just, oh, you like this? I don't like this.
Yep.
I hate you.
Make
content. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy the shit they be
Even
doing,
though they probably got a friend in the background, like, yeah, I kind of agree with what he's saying. They won't make that video though. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, man. I'm gonna close it out here. Appreciate anybody that came through. Anybody that's gonna watch it later. If you did like the content, hit the like button or subscribe if you're new. And yeah, like I said, I'll make a video about the memberships later. Be on the lookout for that. But I explain that. But yeah, pretty much it. I'll catch you in the next one.